Hi, everybody. Welcome to McFadden Stadium here on the campus of LaGrange High School on the South Loop in Lake Charles, where Terrebonne General Health System is proud to bring you Louisiana High School Athletic Association quarterfinal football playoff action. Tonight, we feature Division II select quarterfinal matchup between the number 6 seeded Terriers of Vandebilt Catholic, who are 10-1 on the season, taking on the homestanding number 3 seed Lake Charles Prep Trailblazers, who entered tonight's game with a record of 9-2. After a bye in the first round of the playoffs, Vandebilt easily defeated Carver in Homer last week, 49-24 to reach tonight's game. Lake Charles Prep also had a bye in the first round and shook off a pesky Leesville team last week, 42-23 to gain a berth in tonight's contest. The Trailblazers were the home team last week as well and played that game on the campus of Sam Houston High School just north of Lake Charles. Because Lake Charles Prep does not have a home field, they share stadiums around the Lake Charles area when hosting games. And just to note, Lake Charles Prep is only a few miles from LaGrange Stadium, and we are very near that school. And only a hop, skip, and jump from the McNeese State campus right down Ryan Street. The winner of tonight's game goes on to the semifinals to take on the winner of number 2 seeded Loyola Prep and the number 5 seed Shaw team, who are playing tonight in Shreveport. Again, welcome everybody. Stan Grover here to bring you the play-by-play, along with analyst Mr. Big, Bobby Arsenault, and the Eagle Eye, Sean Dupre, is here to spot for us as we're excited to bring this action back to the Bayou region. Bobby, we've got a great matchup between two teams who had convincing wins in the regional round of the playoffs.
Well, you're right, Stan. I tell you what, it's going to be a good one. And first of all, I want to comment about the stadium we're in tonight. LaGrange Stadium, which I had no idea, hadn't been here in about 100 years. A really nice, big stadium. And like you said, right off a 210 loop. The field's in great condition for this late in the year. So you're always worried about that when you're on a grass field. You're worried about the condition. After seeing Vanderbilt's field last Friday night, which is in immaculate shape, this field here is in great shape. So the field will not be a factor during the game. Our Lake Charles College Prep team is pretty good ball club on paper. I tell you what, you were able to watch them on film. They run a 4-2 defense led by two stud linebackers. Elijah Frank, 6 foot, 200 pounds, and also Brendan Malvo, there it is. My glasses fell down. Malvo, another 6'1", 205-pound linebacker. So those two guys are headhunters, and they'll go find the ball. So looking forward to seeing them. Vanderbilt, as we know, has a little multiple offense. They throw the ball pretty good, and they got a pretty good running game. So it should be a great matchup tonight.
I agree. On offense for Lake Charles Prep, the guy to watch is number 1, Aiden Corner. He's only a junior. He lines up in multiple positions. Sometimes he's standing right next to the quarterback in the shotgun. Sometimes he's at the wideout. Sometimes he's in the slot. They try to get them the ball any way they can, and he has 4.4 speed. Now, that's what we saw on paper. We're going to find that out tonight. The one thing we did notice when we were on the field a little bit earlier, it's a beautiful field, folks. The Bermuda is beautiful, but it's a little long. Looks like it's a little bit of a slow track, which in some ways probably would benefit Vandebilt Catholic. We'll see. One interesting note about Lake Charles Prep, their quarterback was hurt in week 1. That young man's name is Dylan Vital, big kid, 6'2", 200-pounder, and he came back last week for their first playoff game, and he went 11 for 17, threw for 179 yards in that game. So he's a kid that you have to watch on the field tonight. But Vanderbilt's defense has been up to the task all year long. They're extremely tough, extremely physical. We've seen the defensive backfield for Vanderbilt have terrific games in the last couple of weeks. Sort of led back there in the backfield by Jaden Coleman, who's got some interceptions along the way. The young Wazan kid, number 21 for the Terriers, is playing extremely well. So I think it'll be one heck of a game here tonight. For you folks who are wondering, that 9-2 record for Lake Charles Prep, who they faced along the way, they are the District 3 3A champions. That's right. They are a Classification 3 team who plays up in Division 2. Now, the teams in that district are St. Charles Catholic, which is obviously no slouch. You have other teams from that district, such as Westlake, who is always pretty good, Jennings, who is always good. So they went undefeated in that district. Their 2 losses came to Westgate, first game of the year, and to Catholic of New Iberia, who's really good. And, of course, we know that Vanderbilt's only loss was to E.D. White in District 8 4A. E.D. White playing tonight. As a matter of fact, I think the winner of this game would take on the winner of Shaw and Loyola, but E.D. White playing on the other side of the bracket, right?
Right, yeah. E.D. White will play should they win tonight, they'll play the winner of Madison Prep and University High. Both schools out of the Baton Rouge area. E.D. White would be on the road. Vandebilt, on the other hand, should they win tonight and Shaw wins, that game will be in Homer.
Which I'm sure that's what Coach Wallace is hoping for.
Oh, I bet he is. Otherwise, you're back on the buses to Shreveport.
Yeah, so. You'll see every inch of the state if you're Vanderbilt Catholic. Yeah. If Loyola pulls out that win and Vanderbilt manages to win tonight. We have just a couple of minutes before the start of this game, so we're going to go ahead and take a break. Again, folks, you are listening to quarterfinal action in the Division II Select Bracket. Vanderbilt Catholic against Lake Charles College Prep Academy. Right here from LaGrange High School, McFadden Stadium. We're going to take a break as you're listening to the Terrebonne General Game of the Week. Welcome back to the Terrebonne General Game of the Week. Lake Charles Prep against Vanderbilt Catholic. Lake Charles won the coin toss. They deferred to the second half. Captains for Lake Charles Prep would be Braden Reed, number 9, Elijah Frank, number 10, Miles Joseph, number 72, and number 77, Karen Henderson.
And the captains for Vanderbilt tonight was the center, number 71, Philip Sinak, also the quarterback, number 7, Ethan Henney, the defensive lineman, number 67, Devin Dehart, and number 3, the cornerback, Logan Hemel.
Lake Charles College Prep is dressed in all red. You would call that red, Bobby?
Let's call it red. Yeah.
Vermilion. Let's call it vermilion with the yellow trim, yellow numbers, red hats. Vanderbilt Catholic in all white today with the blue hats. And again, Vanderbilt Catholic going to be receiving the opening kick as Lake Charles Prep deferred to the second half. Lining up to kick for Lake Charles Prep. Kind of wish you would turn this way just a tad bit so we could get that number.
Let's see if I can get him for you.
I think it's Jarnell Jinks, number 42. And it is Jarnell Jenks. He kicks it down to about the 20. On the return for the Terriers is number 16. That's LePere, and he's going to bring it all the way back out to the 45-yard line. On the return for the for the Terriers, number 16, Andre LePere, a senior.
Stopped by Caden Brown for Lake Charles.
Nice return for the Terriers. Great field position to start this one. They'll play 1st and 10 from their own 46-yard line in at quarterback. And number 7 for the Terriers, Ethan Heaney. Heaney has the ball. He's going to throw it on 1st down. It's intercepted, and it's going to be a touchdown, folks. They saw that coming from the get-go. What a tough start for the Terriers in this one. First play from scrimmage, and that looks like it's number 4 for the Trailblazers. That's David Thomas, the junior defensive back, who steps in front of the out route, returns it for a touchdown, about 46 yards, and that's the first score of the game, folks.
Well, you know, Stan, if they were watching the film from last week, Vandebilt ran the exact same play last week against Carver, and the same thing didn't happen, but Carver threw him for a big loss. So I guess they were figuring if they come out with the same thing, he read it perfect, stepped right in front of him.
Now, the one thing that's interesting about Lake Charles Prep, not a whole lot of extra points, not a whole lot of field goals.
No.
They go for it. They go for 2, and they're actually still in the huddle here, which I don't think they're going to have time to get this off. The play clock is actually not even on right now, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. Maybe a sideline infraction on Lake Charles Prep, because they had official out there letting everybody know, but the ball is spotted at the 3, and as I stated earlier, Lake Charles Prep going to go for a 2-point conversion here.
Still ain't got the play clock moving yet. It went off and went back on.
So here we go. That's actually Philip Hunter in the backfield out of the Wildcat, along with number 1, Aiden Carter. Aiden Carter is the speedster, and he tries to get to the outside, and he does. Gets right in the corner. The guy who can run 4.3 in the 60 is in there easily for the 2-point conversion. Very, very early in our game. 11:44 in the first quarter, and Lake Charles Prep is up on Vandebilt Catholic 8-0. Haven't even run an offensive play yet.
Well, you know what? Carter showed you that speed. Vandebilt did a good job on defense just there. They kind of had him stretched out, and they were grabbing for him. He made a few guys miss him, and then went in the end zone for the extra point.
I think it's worth noting, as far as scoring, Lake Charles Prep can do it. They score 44.6 points per game. They give up a lot of points, 28.8, but you can't turn the ball over if you're Vandebilt Catholic, and obviously that was not a good start for the Terriers on that initial possession. There was a penalty actually on that play, the touchdown play, and it was against Vandebilt Catholic, actually a 15-yard penalty. So Lake Charles Prep is going to be kicking from the Vandebilt Catholic 45-yard line. And again, in to kick is Jarnell Jenks. He addresses the ball, and he boots it down right to about the 2-yard line, and Vandebilt going to bring it out. They're trying again, and they're going to get great yardage again. That is number 3, still running with it. In the shotgun to his right is Thibodeau, and he is going to give it off to Thibodeau, and Thibodeau's on the races, folks. He's got big yardage, getting it all the way out to almost midfield for the Terriers. That'll be a 1st and 10.
Pulled down by Caden Jones, cornerback for the Trailblazers.
Nice 2 plays for Vandebilt Catholic. Bryce Thibodeau on both of those carries, the senior running back. He's out of the game now. Now in is Jay Smith, the other senior running back. He's lined up next to Heaney. 2 receivers to the right. Heaney with the ball. He gives it to Smith. And Smith's only going to pick up about a yard on that play.
Yeah, he stopped again by number 9, Reed.
That'll bring up a 2nd and 9 for the Terriers.
Like we said, Trailblazers with a 4-man front, and got a couple of pretty good sized guys up in on that defensive line.
2nd and 9 for the Terriers. 3 guys to the right. Heaney in the backfield by himself. 2 to the left. And he is going to dump it off. And this is completed, but there ain't going to be much there. The speed of Lake Charles Prep is going to be relevant tonight. That's number 16 on the reception, Henri Lepere. And we'll call it a loss of 1 on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd down and a long 9, possibly 10.
Yeah, stopped by Watkins for the Trailblazers. I thought they were setting a screen up at first. But the way Heaney was dropping back and kind of letting those linemen come to him.
4 receivers to the left for Heaney, 1 receiver to the right. He calls for the ball. In motion is Lepere, and Heaney looking downfield, and he's got it complete. Wide open in the middle of the field. I think that's number 10.
Oh, almost.
Give me some help on the number down there, Bob.
That is number 18. That's the tight end, Brewer.
That is 18. No, that is William Ordon, unless it was number 10. Number 10 would be Jacob Breerwood.
Okay, let's see. No, it was hard to see. Never turning face to see. Here we go. Turn to me. There he goes, 18.
18. All that's right. Ordon. We want to get the right guy as Vandebilt's going to play 1st and goal. That ball's got to be inside of the 1-yard line. And Heaney going to be in the Wildcat type position for him. Easily gets into the end zone. Vandebilt scores. Our score now. Lake Charles Prep 8, Vandebilt 6, 8:52 left to go in this first quarter. Folks, get ready. There's going to be a lot of scoring in this game. I have a sneaky suspicion.
Yeah, I tell you what, it looks like Vanderbilt's going to be able to move the ball pretty easily on it. It's going to be up to Vanderbilt's defense, to slow Carter down from that tailback spot. Carter only a 5'7", 170-pound back, but he's fast.
In for the extra point, number 85, Luke Sidden for the Terriers. He kicks it. It is up, and it is good. Our score with 8:52 left in the first quarter. Lake Charles Prep 8, Vanderbilt Catholic 7. You're listening to the Terrebonne General Game of the Week from here in Lake Charles. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout.
Back to the game. Back to my camera, please.
He was sitting there waiting.
Well, down in distance.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to the Terrebonne General Community Sports Game of the Week, and we've got another touchdown in all probability, folks. Aiden Carter just took it in from about his own 25-yard line, and he goes 75 yards for a touchdown. No flags on the play. Wow. Can you imagine? To this point, the Trailblazers have 14 points on the board, and they've never run an offensive play yet.
No, you're right. I tell you what, that time they on the kickoff team, there was a lot of gaps. Some guys didn't run their lanes, and Carter found them right away.
Well, you know the old adage, speed kills. And listen, Lake Charles Prep has plenty of that. Aiden Carter on the touchdown, only a junior. And as we mentioned earlier, the Trailblazers going for 2, as they often do. Our score 14-8 at this point. And they are in a unique formation, folks. Double slot with a pistol and a receiver on top. With the ball is Philip Hunter. He gives it to Aiden Carter, and Aiden Carter is stopped short of the goal line. Good job of Vanderbilt coming up and making sure he didn't get that 2-point conversion.
Yeah, he fumbled the ball too when he went down. The ball popped out, but he was already down. So.
That makes our score 14-7 with 8:39 left here in the first quarter. Again, from LaGrange High School, you're listening to the Terrebonne General Community Sports Institute Game of the Week. We'll be back in 1 minute for the LCCP kickoff.
Okay, 1 minute.
Jack, don't wait for them to come back. Come back to the game. Even if we don't have sound. Jack. Switch it. Yes. Okay.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead.
On the kickoff of the Trailblazers was Jenks. Probably did the smart thing. Kind of squibbed it down there where there couldn't be a return on it. Vandebilt, young man, falls on it at the 32-yard line. Vandebilt will set up shop 1st and 10 from there. Bobby, you thought you'd see 14-7, and we're not even at the 8-minute mark?
Not even close. I'll tell you what, the way we started, I didn't think before. I'll tell you, nobody stopping anybody.
Henney in the backfield. He also has a runner to his right. That's Bryce Thibodeau, and he gives it to Thibodeau right up the middle. Pretty good yardage on first down. He's going to pick up about 4 yards on first down.
Yeah, I'll tell you what stopped on the play by Corey Jackson. Dan, I need to tell you, we have one of our fans listening tonight. My cousin Gary Arsenault and your friend. He's got us on the
man, Gary Arsenault. That's awesome. Heaney in the shotgun to his left now. Looks like that is Bryce Thibodeau, but he's going to throw it right down the middle. The pair wide open. Another touchdown, folks. This is almost like not even funny. I mean, the young man from LCCP didn't even guard him on that. And that is going to be all the way from, let's call it the 35-yard line. 65 yards on a touchdown pass. Ethan Heaney down to Henri Lepere. Vandebilt scores our score now. Vandebilt 13, LCCP 14. I am going to need a Red Bull pretty soon.
Oh, I'll tell you what. And look, nobody picked him up. He just came right out of the slot, right down the middle of the field, untouched.
Luke sitting on for the extra point. He kicks it. It is true. And now our score is tied. 7:56. Well, at least we broke the 8-minute mark here, Bobby. Our score tied 14-14 in this quarterfinal action between Vandebilt Catholic and Lake Charles Prep. We're going to take another minute timeout. We'll be right back after this break.
Go ahead.
Welcome back to McFadden Stadium on the campus of LaGrange High School here on the south side of Lake Charles High School. It's quarterfinal action between Vandebilt Catholic and Lake Charles Prep. I know a lot of you are saying, well, why are you at LaGrange High School? Lake Charles Prep doesn't have a stadium. They've played in 4 different stadiums for home games this year around the Lake Charles area. But I must say, a very nice stadium here, very well kept. Very happy to be here. Maybe the best press box we've ever been in, Bobby. As Vandebilt's kicking off, and that's going to go down to number 35 of the Trailblazers. Oh. Number 35 is running with it now. That's Colin Guillory, and he gets it deep in Vandebilt territory. Down to the Terrier. Let's see where they spot it at. Down to the Terrier. Looks like the 35-yard line. Wow.
Dayton Calloway on the stop. But the referee, but if you saw it, the referee was kind of sandwiched in there. He had to kind of make himself small real fast. He could all the players pass right through him.
The ball is officially spotted at the 38-yard line. Trailblazers have played 1st and 10. Folks, this is their first offensive play in the game, and the score is 14-14. Dotting the I on this is that dangerous guy, Aiden Carter. At quarterback, number 15, Dylan Vital, who has been hurt most of the year, but now he goes into the slot. It's Carter with the ball looking for an opening, and he's going to pick up minimal yardage. Let's call it only 2 yards on 1st down.
Yeah, that was a good job that time. He just took the snap direct and tried to run up the middle. Stopped by number 53 of the Terriers, Josh Fairchild. Vandebilt with a 5-man front. See if they leave it like that, or they bring a few more guys up here to kind of contain Carter if they can.
2nd and 8 for Lake Charles Prep. Again, Aiden Carter is in the backfield. He's to the right of his quarterback, but he gets it on the Wildcat, and he's going to pick up an additional, let's call it 3 yards on 2nd down.
Nice job on the tackle that time by number 9 for the Terriers, Crash Menard. We'll be calling his name a lot. He does a great job from his linebacker spot.
Only a sophomore.
Yeah, he finds the ball fast. He does a good job.
Of course, the son of the head baseball coach there at Vandebilt Catholic, Chad Menard. 3rd down, let's call it a long 4, maybe 5 for the Trailblazers. Handing the ball off is Vital, and it's going to be run by number 35. That's Guillory, who actually returned the kick. It'll be close to 1st down yardage, but there is a flag on the play.
Logan Hemel on the stop for Vandebilt. Looks like
holding against the Trailblazers. That'll set Lake Charles Prep back on 3rd down.
6:19 to go in the 1st quarter. It's 14 apiece.
Ball's going to be pushed back out to the 42-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 14 for the Trailblazers. At quarterback, Dylan Vital. He's got it. The senior's looking downfield for somebody open. He's got a terrific arm, and he guns it, but he just sort of threw it down there. The one thing I noticed on film all week, Bobby, is although Vital's got a rifle, sometimes his aim is a little bit off, and Vandebilt Catholic does a good job in the defensive backfield.
Yeah, that time Carter went out to a slot back out of the backfield. Normally running the tailback spot, but he went out to the slot. He went down on a pass route.
So the Trailblazers going to punt from the Vandebilt Catholic 42-yard line. Deep for the Terriers. Looks like LaPere is back there. The punt is off by number 32, Caleb Pete, and it is going to roll down there. Down to about the 14-yard line. That's probably about the best Lake Charles Prep could expect out of that.
Yeah, looks like the Trailblazers are not strong in the kicking game. They've been going for 2 on the 2 touchdowns, and now the punter got a weak punt off that time.
Early score for you folks who are interested in E.D. White Catholic taking on St. Charles Catholic. St. Charles Catholic has a 7-0 lead in the 1st quarter of that one. St. James having no problems with Oak Grove. They lead 14-0. And finally, of local interest, Lutcher is defeating Iowa. Did I say that right, Sean?
Yeah.
Iowa 14-6. Iowa's got a good team, man. They hadn't lost a game all year. Here we go. Vandebilt playing 1st and 10. Ball from their own 14-yard line. Heaney getting his signals from the sideline. Bryce Thibodeau to his right. He's got it. He gives it off to Thibodeau. Thibodeau pushing the pile. And again, going to end up with pretty good yardage on 1st down. That'll be 5 yards.
I'll tell you what, there's a whole bunch of red and white jerseys pushing each other around. On the bottom of the pile for the Trailblazers is number 10. Elijah Frank, one of those good linebackers for the Trailblazers.
Trailblazers took on Leesville last year here in Lake Charles at Sam Houston, and I got to tell you, Leesville moved the ball pretty much at will for most of that game. Let's see what Vandebilt can do here on second down. Heaney keeps it on the fake. He is going to pick up a few yards, and there is a flag on the play coming from deep. The backfield judge throws it all the way into the pile. Let's see what we got here.
Sean Beebe on the stop for Lake Charles.
Let's see what we got. They're talking it over. Nobody's moving one way or another.
Coach Wallace told Heaney over the sideline to get the play in while the referees are talking. Here we go.
Let's see. It is going to be against Lake Charles Prep, it looks like. I'm not sure what it was.
No, but it's a good one.
Nonetheless, it's good news for Vandebilt Catholic as the ball is moved out to the 34-yard line. Vandebilt will play 1st and 10. 5:11 to go in the first quarter. That's right, folks. We're still in the first quarter. 14-14 is our score. Heaney in the shotgun. Bryce Thibodeau to his right. And Heaney's going to drop back to pass it, and he does just that. Aiming for Bourgeois, folks.
Got him.
These cornerbacks for LCCP just look in the backfield and don't know where they're at. They could do this all night long.
And look, it's nothing fancy, just a fly route down the sideline. He just hangs it up there and they run under it.
Suffice to say, if the pass would have been a little bit further out there, it's probably a touchdown. That's an awesome play. Again, big pickup. Corey Bourgeois on the reception for the Terriers. Thibodeau still in there at the running back position. Heaney in the shotgun. Two receivers to the right. LePere goes into motion. It's a fake to him. Heaney right up the middle, going to pick up about 4 yards on first down.
Talking about linebacker Elijah Frank on the play. Like we said earlier, Trailblazer 2 linebackers can get after it. And they're showing that they really can.
There's no doubt that Lake Charles Prep, we knew this coming into the game, that they were going to be very athletic, and they certainly are very athletic. Heaney in the shotgun. Thibodeau goes in motion, and they throw it backside on the screen, and they lucky that didn't get intercepted. Bourgeois does a good job of getting away from initial contact, but then he is smacked for a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he took a good lick right there. He made something out of David Thomas on the stop before. He made something out of nothing there. He was in more trouble.
That'll bring up 3rd down and 11 for the Terriers.
So the early Trailblazers with a 4-man front. Now they've kind of snuck a couple of cornerbacks up early. They'll come up on a line of scrimmage.
Heaney in the shotgun. And they are going to run a little wheel run, and it's intercepted. Nice job by the safety of Lake Charles Prep, who did not bite on the man coming underneath on the wheel right. That is number 4 on the interception for Lake Charles Prep. David Thomas, defensive back, comes up with the interception. An opportunity wasted by Vandebilt Catholic.
Yeah, he kind of hung it up there. And just not quite enough where Thomas just cut right in front of him and picked it off.
3:09 left in the first quarter. Our score 14-14. Lake Charles Prep with the ball. They take it over at their own 22-yard line. 1st and 10. In the game at quarterback, Dylan Vital. And he's got the dangerous one next to him, number 1, Aiden Carter. But he's going to throw it. He throws it downfield. And what a nice catch. And a nice run out to catch. That's number 2 on the reception. Caden Jones, the senior wide receiver, who gets it in Vandebilt territory.
So it was freshman Menard on the pass coverage that time. As we said earlier, you know, the Lake Charles they can throw the ball around the field. He's got a great arm. 6'2", 200 pounds.
Here we go, 1st and 10, Lake Charles Prep from the Vandebilt 49-yard line. They give it off right up the middle. Good job by the interior line of Vandebilt Catholic. Going to shut him down. Maybe no gain on the play.
Keith Patterson on the stop for the Terriers.
That'll bring up second down for Lake Charles Prep. Second and let's call it 10. Again, Vital in at quarterback. You'll see him come in and out. Again, he was hurt in the first game of the year against Westgate. And then he came back last week for his first game. Nice pass there as he throws it out to number 6 on the reception, Christian Manuel. And that's going to be a first down for the Trailblazers.
Yeah, that goes to show you how strong his arm is. Just a little down and out. He put that ball on the money.
That was very nice pass.
Yeah.
Second and, first and 10 for the Trailblazers. The ball is at the 36-yard line of Vandebilt. Right over the middle. That's, I thought it had a chance to be intercepted.
Yeah, I thought it was getting picked off too.
Boy, number 6 for Vanderbilt Catholic had a beat on it, Gabe Douglas, but just a step away from picking that off. Now it'll bring up second and 10 for the Trailblazers. Maybe I have mental telepathy, Bobby. Maybe I knew it was second and 10 last night. Again, ball spotted at the 36-yard line of Vanderbilt. Vital calls for it. He's going to give it off, and that is not Aiden Carter. That is number 35 on the run for the Trailblazers, Keelan Guillory. Nice pickup. Certainly makes this third down much more manageable. 3rd and 2 for Lake Charles Prep. 1:40 and counting in the first quarter. Our score 14-14.
Jack Bobby on the stop for the Terriers.
Aiden Carter in the backfield, the dangerous one. And he gets it on the Wildcat, and he's going to pick up a first down, but not much more after that. Looks like he gets down to the 25-yard line.
Crash Bernard on the bottom of the pile. Like I said, we'll be calling this player out a lot tonight. He's got a nose for the ball and he finds it.
First and 10 for the Trailblazers. Ball at the Vanderbilt 25-yard line. Dylan Vital, the quarterback. Again, 6'2", 200-pound senior, threw for 2,700 yards last year. So this time he hands it off, and that looks like Guillory again, who is the tough running back between the tackles. He's going to get it down to the 21-yard line.
Stopped again by Keith Patterson from his linebacker spot for the Terriers.
Sorry, let's call that the 22-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd and 7 for Lake Charles Prep. Guillory stays in there at tailback. Vital with 2 receivers to both sides. Vital with the ball, and he's going to throw it. And he threw it. He's sort of behind the guy.
Yeah.
It was intended for number 6, Christian Manuel, but that ball was sort of behind him.
Yeah, Vanderbilt, good coverage that time. In fact, if it's any more to the right, it might hit a pickoff.
There's one thing that is in no doubt whatsoever. This is 2-down territory for Lake Charles.
Oh, yeah.
They will be going for it on 4th down if they don't get this. 3 receivers to the right. Vital in the backfield with Guillory. He's calling for the ball. Got it. And there's a flag on the play. Illegal motion, it looks like. I will say this about this refereeing crew. Some little calls that don't take that long to call, they're called offside. Wow, you don't see that often. Offsides on the offense. Offsides on the offense, so that'll be a 5-yard penalty against Lake Charles Prep. That's going to set them up behind the chains on 3rd down. That'll bring up a 3rd and 12. I'm not sure who was offside, but usually you afford the wide receiver the opportunity to get back in position. Might have been one of the linemen. Third and 12. Trailblazers with the ball at the 27-yard line. Vital calls for it. He's got it. And he gives it to Carter. Carter not going to get the first down. As a matter of fact, looks like he's only going to pick up about 3 yards on the play. It'll bring up a 4th down and 9 for Lake Charles Prep.
Stopped on the play for the Terriers by Moses.
And that is the end of the first quarter, folks. Our score at the end of 1, Lake Charles Prep 14, Vandebilt Catholic 14. You're listening to the Terrebonne General Community Sports Institute Game of the Week. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Go ahead.
We are at McFadden Stadium. Lake Charles Prep taking on Vandebilt Catholic in quarterfinal action. Lake Charles Prep playing 4th and 9 from the Vandebilt Catholic 35-yard line. Vital back to throw it, and he throws it incomplete. Intended for number 2, Caden Jones. Vandebilt Catholic takes over on down.
I tell you what, had a guy open, not too, but Vanderbilt did a great job on defense that time. Had everybody covered.
Vanderbilt has played good defense. Listen, for you folks who are just tuning in, Lake Charles Prep has 14 points. One came off of an interception return, a pick to the house, and the other came on the kickoff return. So credit Vanderbilt's defense for doing just fine, especially against a team that scores almost 45 points a game. Heaney is in the shotgun. To his left now is number 12, Jay Smith. And Smith's on the run, and he is popped. He gains about 1.5 yards on first down.
Well, I'll tell you what, he was leveled by number 4, David Thomas, 6'2", 175-pound linebacker.
Well, the one thing you don't get in Bryce Thibodeau and Jay Smith is size. They're not real big guys. But boy, if they can get in the open field, they're little jitterbugs out there. Here we go, 2nd, and let's call it 8 for the Terriers. Heaney calling for the ball. 3 receivers to his left. Heaney's going to throw it to his right, and he throws it out of bounds. Not sure what was going on that play.
Yeah, felt a little pressure from the outside, from the right defensive end.
I think Henri Lapierre got held up at the line and just didn't have the opportunity to get out on the route. It'll bring up a 3rd down for Vandebilt. Ball is at their own 26-yard line. We just started the second quarter, folks. 11-14 left to go in the second quarter. Our score, Lake Charles Prep 14, Vandebilt Catholic 14. Yeah, they can't cover this. There's 3 receivers down here, and Lake Charles Prep has to call a timeout because they did not have it covered. We'll keep it right here. 3rd down, big 3rd down, Bobby, for Vandebilt Catholic.
Yeah, you're right. I tell you what, and we saw it from up here that they didn't have it covered. And so the Lake Charles coaches up here were screaming too. Call timeout because we don't have it covered because they've been getting burnt on these long passes by Vanderbilt.
I would assume that the coaches were notified, but as Sean had just pointed out, the play clocks have not been working.
No.
They've been sitting on 0 the entire time, so you're sort of at the liberty of the back judge to know exactly when you have to snap it. I would say if I were the folks here at LaGrange, maybe just turn those things off, just not to confuse anybody.
Yeah. A big score up in North Louisiana, Southside 20, Ruston 14.
I'll tell you what, I'll bet the marks, I don't have a mark. I'll bet everything I got, that ain't going to stay like that.
Oh, I agree.
Rustin something else from what I understand. But boy, if you listen, for you folks down there that saw them play Terrebonne High last week, Southside is a fun team to watch. They run that flex bone and they run it really, really well. And nobody does that in the state of Louisiana. Here we go, 3rd down and 8 for the Terriers. The ball at the 26-yard line. They're on 26. Heaney in the backfield by himself. We have 4 receivers to the left now with the man in motion, and they throw it to the right, and it is caught. That looks like a terrific catch by Bourgeois. There's a lot of scuffle on that sideline, but they're going to call it a catch.
Oh, yeah. Bourgeois went up high and caught that. Great coverage by the Trailblazers, but Bourgeois went up high and brought it down.
Looks like when Vandebilt could get a guy isolated, they don't cover man-to-man very well, meaning the Trailblazers, and they get a big first down on that. The ball is now at the Trailblazer 45-yard line.
Yeah, that time Vandebilt was trips left and went single.
Here we go. With the ball is Thibodeau. Bryce Thibodeau with a nice gain. Ooh, if he could have shook that one tackle there, probably picks up a bunch more.
Yeah, I tell you what, nice tackle by David Thomas again. He's been on quite a few stops tonight.
4 yards on the gain for Thibodeau. He exits. Coming in now for the Terriers, number 26, Easton Klingman. He's in the backfield with Heaney.
He's in
and
trouble.
That wasn't pretty.
I tell you what, nothing doing that time.
Nothing doing. Didn't fool any of the Trailblazers on that play, and that's going to be a loss. Putting the Terriers behind the chains on 3rd down. It'll bring up 3rd and 13.
Yeah, that big play that time. Vanderbilt has some momentum going ahead and get thrown for a loss like that. Malvo on the stop for the Trailblazers.
3rd and 13 for Vanderbilt Catholic. The ball spotted near midfield. Heaney by himself back there in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Oh, and a young man from Vanderbilt moved.
Yeah,
looks like the tight end down there moved just a little bit. I'm sorry, tackle, as they have an unbalanced line.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Trailblazers was showing blitz on that side, and that right tackle got a little anxious.
That'll set him back 5 more yards. Whew. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and let's call it 18, almost 19 for the Terriers. Had a good little drive going, but sort of shot themselves in the foot on this drive.
Yeah, let's see if they can get at least some of this back.
I think it's going to be the same play they just had called. Here we go. Trips to the right. Heaney in the shotgun. Heaney calling for the ball in motion. Number 34, Harper Wazan. Heaney in trouble again. And then he's got to be a magician to get out of this one.
Yeah.
And he almost does.
Yeah.
I mean, kids from Lake Charles Prep are running off the field and the play's not over.
Yeah, I tell you what, he had great routes on the right side. If he could have gotten loose and got rid of the ball, I think that he had a big pickup. But
that'll bring a 4th down and a country mile. I think they have to get to the LaBerge Casino down there for a 1st down.
Yeah, Lake Charles went with a 3-man rush that time, but also sent an outside man in from the cornerback spot.
Back to punt is Bourgeois. Deep back for the Trailblazers is a dangerous one, Carter. Got to be real careful if you're Vanderbilt on this. Good snap. The punt is off. Nice end-over-end punt. And it's going to roll. And it takes a Vanderbilt bounce inside the 20-yard line down to the 18. Nice punt by Bourgeois. There is a flag on the play. 8:23 left in the 2nd quarter. Our score 14-14 in this one.
Trying to figure what this penalty could be.
It's way back here at the 35-yard line, and it is illegal motion on Vanderbilt, so Lake Charles Prep could actually have them kick over. And I got to tell you, if I'm Lake Charles Prep, I would make them kick over, and they're not.
No. I thought they wanted the ball to get in number one's hands at least.
I think they have the option to take the 5-yard penalty maybe down here, but that's not worth it, really.
No.
And let's see, the ball was at the 18, and they are going to mark off 5.
Yeah.
It'll now be spotted at the 23. So a 5-yard penalty from the spot of the ball. The automated kick over.
Oh, yeah. I want the ball in number one's hands as many times as I can.
Good point. Good point. 14-14. We got us a good one here. We thought it was going to be like somewhere in the 30s by now, but it's kind of calmed down just a little bit. Here we go. On the run play is Lake Charles Prep. They took Vital out the game, and I think that was number 6 who was in there, Christian Manuel, trying to pick up something on first down. He did. Let's give him a gain of 2.5 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and a long 7 for the Trailblazers.
Crash Menard on the stop from his linebacker spot for the Terriers.
And they're still in that Wildcat. We don't see Dylan in there anymore, Dylan Vital, as that ball is given off to number 35, Guillory, and he's not going to get much. As a matter of fact, he's going to get thrown back, maybe loses yardage on the play.
Oh, I tell you what, great job that time by Menard and Fairchild on the stop. They had him wrapped up pretty quick.
Bobby, we are here at McFadden Stadium, and as we look out, there are 2 landmarks that I think are very important to Lake Charles. One of them is McNeese State, where we could see the baseball lights, it looks like. The other is Darrell's Pool Boys.
Oh, yeah, which we whiffed a few of them down today.
Here we go. 3rd down and 7 for the Trailblazers. Vital back in the game. He's going to throw it downfield, and he's got a first down. That's very athletic of him buying time, and he gets it down there to number 2, Caden Jones, for the first down for the Trailblazers.
Oh, I tell you what, good job that time by just kind of waiting, buying some time and look down the field. Patterson on the stop for the Terriers.
Again, last week, this Trailblazer team scored 43 points against Leesville in that game. Leesville scored 23 in that one. Vandebilt Catholic scored 49 against Carver. On the run is Carter, and Vandebilt doing a pretty good job of bottling up that young man. And talking to Brian Wallace this week, he said the key is not to let him get to the second level.
Yeah, Logan Hemel did a great job of wrapping him up on that tackle. Brought him down pretty quick.
Ball is now in Vandebilt territory. He does get 4 on the play. Lake Charles College Prep, or the Prep like they want to be noted, sets up 2nd and 6, and the ball is given off right up the middle. Pretty good gain. That's Guillory. He's going to have a first down to the 40-yard line. Another note of interest, we're probably about a block and a half from Lake Charles Prep. It's not very far from here. For you folks who come down on the 210 loop from time to time, maybe you want to get your gambling on at LaBerge and Golden Nugget. You actually pass right by Lake Charles Prep, and you certainly pass right here by LaGrange High School, as it's right off of 210. First down and 10 for Lake Charles Prep, and they are going to ride that sort of scheme, and that looks like Philip Hunter, number 0, who was in at quarterback. He keeps it, and he's only going to pick up a couple on the play.
A good job by Patterson that time, reading that quarterback, putting the ball in his gut. They pulled it back out, and Patterson right there to put a good lick on him.
2nd and 8 for the Trailblazers. Well, they utilize a lot of guys in the backfield. There's Hunter coming back in at quarterback, number 0. Number 35, Guillory, is back there. Number 21, a name we hadn't called very much tonight, Jeffrey Nevels, is back there to the right of Hunter. And Nevels has the ball, and he's going to get close to a first down. I think he may have it down to the 30-yard line. Depends on the spot, and the spot is not very good for Lake Charles Prep.
Yeah, Logan Hemel on the stop for the Terriers.
He's going to be a yard short, and that doesn't play very well with the Lake Charles Prep crowd. Boy, they got a good crowd here that came in, Bobby.
Yeah.
We hadn't looked down in a while, but a good crowd from Lake Charles Prep.
It's a big stadium.
And a good showing by Vandebilt Catholic.
Yeah.
3rd and 1 for the Trailblazers, and they do it from the shotgun. I've never seen them, and all the tape I've watched, go under center, and they don't this time. And I think they're going to get the first down, as the ball is going to be right past that 30-yard line, and that's all they needed. Yep, first down and 10 from the 30-yard line of Vandebilt Catholic.
Yeah, tell you what, Crash Minoy comes up quick and hits him, but not enough till he picks up the first down. But like I said, Minoy finds that ball so fast and does a good job on that.
Dylan Vital still in there at quarterback, 2 running backs to each side, but he's going to throw it, and he dumps it out to Carter. And I got to tell you, Vandebilt Catholic doing a great job on Carter, containing him. He's going to pick up a few, but again, a few for that young man is a win for Vandebilt Catholic.
Yeah, Logan Hemel on the stop. Logan Hemel doing a great job on that coverage. As soon as the ball was thrown, he broke for the ball and made a great tackle.
Been kind of watching big number 72 for Lake Charles Prep. Sean was telling us that he is a commit to the University of Colorado. Well, that's until they let Deion Sanders go.
Yeah.
But that being said, that's a big young man who can handle his business over there. 2nd and 7. They dump it off to Carter. Carter trying to get something, and he does. I don't even know how he got that. He's going to be close to a first down, and he just sort of split a couple of guys to get down close to the 20. But guess what? He ain't getting up.
No, I tell you what, Patterson put a nice lick on him that time from his linebacker spot.
Oh, that would be tough if you're a Lake Charles Prep fan, because that young man is special, Aiden Carter. Tell you what, they're going to work on him out there. We'll take a break and let you know exactly what the prognosis is related to him. Again, you're listening to the Terrebonne General Game of the Week. Our score, Lake Charles Prep 14, Vandebilt 14. We'll be back in 2 minutes. As we get back to action, a couple of noteworthy things. Aiden Carter did go off the field on his own power. He was a little hobbled, but I think he might be okay.
Yeah, his ankle looked like.
And Lake Charles Prep just hit an out route for about a 7-yard pickup. And they play second and a long 3. They're going to throw it again. Vital over the middle.
Whoa.
And what a nice pass. Boy, I tell you what, great pass to number 2, Caden Jones, but he drops it.
Well, I tell you, hit him right about almost by the goal line.
It hit him in the absolute worst place that it could have hit him.
Yep.
Last time Caden made a good play, he kind of got up and showed everybody in the stands his jersey. He kind of turned his jersey away on that one. That'll bring up a 3rd and a long 3 for the Trailblazers. Inside Vandebilt territory, down to the 14-yard line. Vital, one back in the backfield with him. He has it, and he gives it. And, boy, that was a nice stutter step, but he's not going to get a first down. Is that your guy, Crash Menard?
No, number 0 was on that stop.
Oh, yeah, that was impressive, man. He came up and made a pop on that young man from Lake Charles Prep, down again on the play.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was a great stop that time.
Yeah, that'll bring up a 4th down and almost 3 again.
Yeah.
Long 2, almost 3.
There's Townsend on the stop.
Can't get a number for the young man from Lake Charles Prep who's down there. This one looks like it might be a little bit more serious. As they turn him over, and again, big shout out to the 2 athletic trainers from Terrebonne General that are down there, Bo Wallace and Destiny Atkins, assisting the folks from Lake Charles Memorial down there. Few scores as we kind of get on to keeping up with what's going on around the state. St. Charles Catholic now ahead of E.D. White 14-0 in that game. Is that right, Sean? Oh, I'm sorry, 10-0 at half. That being said, we also got news that Grant Barbera is out of that game. So that's a big blow for E.D. White, obviously. St. James having no problems with Oak Grove. They're leading that one 25-13. Iowa is coming back. They're just 1 behind Lutcher. Scoring that one is 21-20. A lot of people are interested in Madison Prep against University. Scoring that one is Madison Prep 16, University 12. They played just 3 weeks ago, and University actually won that one. In a score that is, I don't think, any surprise to Sean or Bobby or I, Shaw is leading Loyola Prep 14-0. Loyola Prep is the number 2 seed, and quite honestly, we just all think that Loyola Prep doesn't play the kind of schedule that's conducive to all of the Division II teams in select down here.
Another big score. Southside is going ahead of Ruston 28-14 and has not thrown a pass yet.
Here we go. 4th down and 3 for Lake Charles Prep. Vital calls for the ball. He's going to throw it, and he hums it out there to nobody. He cannot throw if his feet are not set up, and he throws it short to the receiver. Another good job of Vandebilt taking the ball over on downs.
No, I tell you what, big break, good job of defense for Vanderbilt, holding them down here deep in their own territory with 1:57 to go in the first half.
I know you folks are not going to believe it, but before we got to the 8-minute mark, our score was 14-14 in the first quarter, and it's still 14-14. I think we, or I should say I, Bobby, spoke a little too soon, thinking we were going to have like a basketball score.
Now Vanderbilt wants you to just be careful here and just get out of here. No turnovers.
Heaney is set up in the shotgun. To his right is Thibodeau, and he's going to give it to Thibodeau, and Thibodeau is going to get back to the line of scrimmage and maybe a yard.
And one of them big old linemen for Madison Prep on the bottom of the pile, and that's number 55, Davin Washington.
Again, Lake Charles Prep scores have come on a kick return and a pick-6 interception. Vanderbilt Catholic, on the other hand, it's been long passes that were wide open. Thibodeau trying to get to the outside, and he's going to have a first down. He's going to get it out to about the 25-yard line as he does a good job of getting around the perimeter.
Well, I tell you what, he stopped by number 10, Elijah Franks, but with a little help, one of the other players grabbed his jersey and stretched it about 4 feet. He don't do that. He picks up some big yards.
1:13 and the clock is running here in the second quarter as we're going towards half. I don't think Vanderbilt's in any big hurry here. We're down to 1 minute left in the second quarter. Heaney calling for the ball. Smith is out there. Smith's got it right up the middle, and he's going to get a yard or a 2. It'll bring up second down, and still a long ways for the Terriers.
Yeah, big number 57 on the stop. Also with help from Ian Pete.
Second and 9.5 for the Terriers.
I don't think the Terriers have to run one more play here.
One more play. I would imagine we'll see Smith with it again. But the way they threw the ball downfield earlier today, I'm sure we'll see that a lot in the second half. And Smith with a nice game. Boy, if he could break a couple of more tackles, but that wasn't in the cards. 10 seconds left in the half. I'm sorry, they stop it at 12, actually. Ball's going to be spotted at the 45-yard line. Vanderbilt
calls timeout.
calls a timeout, so they do want to run one more play. 12 seconds left here in the second quarter as we head into half. Our score 14-14. What you think, Vandebilt's?
I think they're going to chunk one down the field. I mean, you know, I go to Bourgeois. He's been successful.
For you folks who are joining in late, Vandebilt scored on a huge pass play to Bourgeois that set up the touchdown, and a huge pass play to Henri Lapierre, which was a touchdown. It's been through the air for the Terriers. Again, for Lake Charles Prep, it's been a little bit of everything else.
Yeah, because Vanderbilt's done a good job on defense, pretty much stopping their offense.
The difference is Lake Charles Prep gets down inside the 20 in the red zone, and they can't kick a field goal, so they go for it on fourth, and they have to turn it over on downs. I would imagine that if Vanderbilt got field position like that, they would kick a field goal and they would be okay.
Yeah, this could be the difference in the game, in the kicking game, with Lake Charles with no kicking game.
Vanderbilt ready to run it. Again, 12 seconds left in the half. Heaney out there with 3 receivers to his right, and he's going to run it right up the middle. He's going to get nice yardage. He's going to get down to the 40. There are now 6 seconds left. And you know what? We were talking about a field goal. They may do something there that maybe they try some kind of.
Yeah, I think they were trying to get a little closer if they could to try to get a field goal.
I appreciate what the official's doing when he calls timeout, but I wish he would call the traditional timeout where you turn and use 2 hands to call, because it looks like it's a penalty, like he's calling on the particular team. 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Again, 14-14. Vanderbilt with the ball at the 40. Bobby, if you had to take a wild sort of opinionated guess, where would they need to get it for a field goal?
Well, if they only have time, that's going to be the problem. And do they have any timeouts left? It's hard to,
I do think they have one timeout left.
Yeah, because the scoreboard doesn't show us that anymore. That's a new thing in high school football. Nobody runs the clock. You know, all you see is the score and the time. Nobody does the timeouts. Nobody does where the ball's at.
Well, actually, this one says both teams have 3 timeouts left, so you're right.
So,
look, we can't be too picky. This turned out to be a pretty good. It's a beautiful press box. That has a bathroom up here.
You ain't kidding, man. My favorite press box of the year.
Yes, it's a beautiful press box here at LaGrange.
I think Tripp's right. They might be going for it here.
Heaney is back there, by himself. Well, I take it back. Now he's got a back there with him. 6 seconds left. And they are going to throw it, and this will be the last play of the half. And he's not going to have the opportunity to throw it down the field very far. They took a shot at it, but that's how a half's going to get in. Our score at halftime: Lake Charles College Prep 14, Vandebilt Catholic 14. We have us a good one here in quarterfinal action in Division II Select. We're going to take a 3-minute break. You're listening to the Terrebonne General Community Sports Institute Game of the Week. Again, we'll be back in 3 minutes. Welcome back to the Terrebonne General Community Sports Institute Game of the Week. It's quarterfinal action. Division II Select Vandebilt Catholic against Lake Charles College Prep. Our score 14-14. As this has been a game, Bobby, that in the first few minutes we thought at this point it might be somewhere around 60-60.
It was one of them games where the last one the ball wins, you know. But boy, I tell you, you're right. First play of the game. You know, Lake Charles picks it off, takes it to the house. And like we said, the same play that Vanderbilt ran against Carver last week, and Carver stuck him good. They ran the same play, and I guess the Trailblazers watched the game film and said, let's take a chance, you know, if they run that same play. And they did, and they picked it off.
Lake Charles Prep actually, again, with that first score, then went on defense, and Vanderbilt Catholic moved the ball this time, went right down the field. Due in large part to big passing plays. Credit, you know, the young quarterback. I say young, he's young, but he's a senior in classification. Ethan Henney, who threw it way out here, and unfortunately for if you're an LCECP guy, he was lost. His head was spinning, and Andre Lepere came up with one big reception, and Bourgeois another big reception that put it deep into LCCP territory, and Vanderbilt finished off those drives. And the other score of our game, Lake Charles Prep actually returned a kickoff. Aiden Carter, who was a young man that we thought would play a pivotal role in this game, returned one, and that's how we got to our score, 14-14. Bobby, I'm going to turn it over to you with maybe some scores you might have that I don't have. So if you could get the score stream. I do have these, which are important. The winner of this game plays the winner of Shaw and Loyola. And I got to tell you, whoever wins this game gets Shaw at home. And Vanderbilt needs to win this game because Shaw is demolishing Loyola Prep 28-0.
Oh, I tell you what, we talked about that on the way up here. You know, we thought that might happen, and hoping, you know, we need Vanderbilt to win to, you know, to be in Homer next Friday night to host Shaw, which would be a great game. Like I said, we saw Shaw last year against E.D. White in the finals. Shaw building a great program over there on the West Bank. So it would be a great venue next Friday night if Vanderbilt can hang on and win this game.
And for anybody who looks at Shaw's record and says, well, it's not that great, please consider who they play throughout the year. The one score that may have been a little surprising, not necessarily at who won the game, but surprising, was that Shaw in week 9 of this season lost to St. Charles Catholic 24-0. That tells you how good St. Charles Catholic is.
Yeah.
But all that being said, again, Shaw is just in Shreveport right now taking care of business against Loyola Prep, which in one way is a good thing for Vanderbilt Catholic because it would be at home if Vanderbilt were lucky enough to win this game. I guess the downside is that Shaw's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
You got to watch out for him. Few other scores real quick. At halftime, E.D. White is down to St. Charles Catholic 10-0 in that one. We knew St. Charles's defense was extremely good, and obviously they're playing pretty well tonight, but we do understand that the quarterback for E.D. White, Grant Barbera, is out of that game, and that's really tough to think he's out of that game. St. James, they're going to be moving on in all probability. They are defeating Oak Grove 37-13 at halftime. Man, St. James is always good. Always good. Loyola is taking on Iowa. Not very far from here. Lutcher is winning against Iowa 21-20 in that one. And Madison Prep taking on University Lab. The winner of that one has the right to take on the E.D. White St. Charles Catholic winner. Madison Prep is leading that one 16-12. That also in the second quarter. Anything else you might have, Bobby?
Yeah, we had a score over in New Orleans, which was a big game going on, and that was St. Aug leading Rumble 21-10 at the half. Of course, both those teams in the same district and played each other a few weeks ago. And I think that's all the scores that the ones you said most of them. Riverside Academy over Washita Christian 24-7.
I will tell you, in that particular bracket, I thought that was the two best teams, period.
Yeah.
So that's a little interesting. That is the same classification for all of you folks who are big CCA fans. That is that same bracket there, and those are two really good teams.
Yeah, and then there's some other big games in New Orleans going on tonight. You know, Evangel and Carr. What a good game that's going to be tonight. And
What do you think of this one so far?
I tell you what, I'm pretty much on key of what we thought we were going to see. We knew that Lake Charles had the speed with Carter in the backfield, and Vandebilt has pretty much kind of kept him in check. He's on that 2-point conversion. He showed what he can do when he's closer to the goal line, because Vandebilt had strung him out, and he made 2 guys miss, and they were trying to grab at him. A guy like that, you know, it's easier said than done when you try to tackle a guy at that kind of speed and those kind of moves. Not a big guy, 5'7", 175, but he is shifty, and like I say, he's a 4.4 sprinter, and with that kind of speed, you got to, as an old coach said, grab some material. Try to grab some material and hang on to the rest of the guys can get there, but he makes it hard to do that.
I would tell you this, Vanderbilt's defense has been stellar. They have kept Lake Charles Prep out of the end zone. The 2 touchdowns for Lake Charles Prep have not come offensively in this game. Now, Lake Charles Prep did get down in the red zone a couple of times, but again, the Vanderbilt defense sort of bowled but didn't break, got the ball back on downs, and ought to be interesting here in the second half. Lake Charles Prep actually gets the ball first, as they stole a possession early on from Vanderbilt with that interception for a touchdown.
Yeah, I just saw a score here from Carr Evangel. Carr leading Evangel 29-6.
29-6. Folks, I don't think the Saints can beat Carr. Carr is, I've never seen in the state of Louisiana one team that is so head and heels above everybody else. But when you folks are sitting there wondering why John Ehret isn't what they are anymore, why the old West Jeff of the 70s isn't what they are, why Higgins isn't what it is, why old Perry Walker, L.B. Landry, it's because they all go to Carr now.
Oh,
and they're very, very good.
You know,
very good.
You know, Carr loaded up with D1 guys all over the field. I mean, and when I say D1, I'm talking about the Ohio
Power schools.
Yeah, LSU's, Ohio State's. I mean, some of them are going to school together. They're going to team up and go to college together. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know who can beat them. I mean, Evangel had a running back. I saw a few posts this week. Evangel fans kind of telling Carr, you ain't seen nothing like this. Well, guess what? Evangel hasn't seen nothing like this either on that side of the ball.
Everybody who plays them tells me the same thing. I have coaching friends in the New Orleans area that say they've never seen anything like this. And when you're going out there and you're just totally demolishing the entire Catholic League, right? I mean, nothing was close along the way. It's pretty amazing.
You know, and talking about Shaw's, 2 of Shaw's losses this year were to Carr and St. Aug. So, you know, 2 big powerhouses out of the New Orleans area. So, like you said earlier, whoever gets to play Shaw, you know, get ready. You're getting a good team. And Shaw's another one on that West Bank. Last year we did the game in the Dome against E.D. White, and all the people up there who were from the Shaw area said Shaw is building a powerhouse on that West Bank.
No doubt. And again, they're in great shape to win the game they're playing. They're shutting out Loyola Prep now 28-0. Again, the winner of this game gets the winner of that game, and Shaw has to be on the road for the rest of the way. So let's hope that Vandebilt can pull this one out. Bobby, you know, when we came in, we went eat at world famous Darrow's Po' Boys, which is nice. Saw a lot of Vanderbilt fans there. Nobody cares about that. We're right here by McNeese. Nobody really cares about that. But Lane Kiffin's making a decision tomorrow on this stand, unless he made one already, because we're not focused on that. What say you?
I say he stays at Ole Miss. I think he stays at Ole Miss. They're going to pay him. I mean,
Sean shaking his head no.
Sean saying no.
Well, obviously, you could go to 100 people and get 100 different opinions on this thing.
You know, and we heard all the things where he already bought the house in Baton Rouge. His kids are enrolled in school. The whole bit, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and you know who knows? Lane Kiffin knows. That's the only one who knows.
You know what? I would say he knows by now, but I'm not sure he even knew this week. But a lot of people, good friends of mine, say, no, he knows. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
I will say I've had people that have come up with the same theory you have, that he's going to Ole Miss, but he's just holding everybody sort of ransom right now, biding his time, making all of these schools wait for a coach so that he kind of could say, no, thanks.
You know, if you think about it, everybody who wants him is a competitor of his. I mean, everybody's in the conference. the Auburns, the Floridas, the LSU. So the longer he makes them wait, the other coaching jobs are getting picked up. And, you know, what's left? And, you know, Summerall sitting out there, Tulane. He kind of got quiet for a while, but that's under the radar because I got a feeling, you know, if Summerall gets the big money contract, which Tulane pays him pretty good, but if he gets that big contract, he's gone. You know, and it's a shame. You know, Tulane's in a situation where, you know, they've built a good program over there. I just got a text from Roosevelt Tom. He said he's coming to LSU. So,
oh well, it's done.
All right, Rosa. Okay, Rosa. I'm glad you told us, buddy. Because I mean,
I would tell you that it's one that in 1 minute you're listening to all of the national pundits speak and you think, oh, this is what's happening, and then in the next minute you're going, well, wait a minute, I don't understand why that happened. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. And as much as I get tired of hearing about it, it's what people are talking about. And obviously, it's our flagship university. I do want to do this. I've had the opportunity on a weekly basis on HTV to sit and talk with Tommy Rybecki, the head coach of Nicholls State University. And I would just like to say, he's certainly an opinion. You got a good one, Nicholls State. I think he's a good X and O's coach. I think he's doing a good job talking to these kids. It's tough to be a college coach these days, man. I don't know exactly what you do. And I know the Colonels only won 4 games. Actually, when you think about conference play, they were pretty good. I mean, you know, they won 4 conference games.
But they were in the hunt for a while.
They were in the hunt. Man. But that being said, you have these kids who have a good year for you, and they think they've showed themselves enough to maybe go somewhere else. And I would love somebody to do a statistic on these FCS schools. When they move up, what do they really gain by going up? My famous, you know, the one I always talk about, probably because his name is so unique, is Pig Cage, who left Nicholls, and we never heard of Pig Cage again. You know, he left Nicholls to go to LSU. That lasted about a year. I think he went somewhere in Texas.
Yeah, he bounced all over the place. And that guy was an all-conference as a freshman. He had a promising future, and got somebody told him if he goes to LSU, he'll start at corner and be All-American. Well, he went to LSU, and the only thing he started was his car. I mean, because he didn't get nothing. So, you know, sometimes you got to think this out. And LSU was loaded up, and LSU was losing guys at corner, and he still didn't get in the game. You know, so, you know, you got to be careful when you do that. Of course, you know, and back then there was no really big money being thrown around like it is now.
I agree.
You know, and I know Nicholls is going to lose some guys into the portal. You know, they're going to lose some guys that are going to leave them to go, they think, is greener pastures. So, like I said, it's got to be so tough to coach at the college level right now, especially at a Southland Conference where, you know, you're trying to build a program, and the next thing you know, you lose 3 starters that leave you. So,
well, we are going to have to get to a break. We're getting down to that 3-minute warning before the halftime ends. But I do want to pass this on. Zachary Poisson, who is the managing athletic trainer there for Terrebonne General, sent this, and I thought it was interesting. He says, I'm listening to the broadcast. Carr's defense, 9 of the 11 starters have signed D1 offers. Can you imagine?
Oh, I know.
Can you imagine? I coached high school football a long time. We were happy if we had 1 in every 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And they, you know, good God, that's unbelievable. We are going to take that break. Our score 14-14. The Lake Charles Prep against Vandebilt Catholic at halftime. We're going to take a break, a 3-minute break. We'll be back. We'll start the third quarter, which I think will be extremely exciting, as the winner of this one goes on to take on either Shaw or Loyola Prep. You're listening to the Terrebonne General Game of the Week. We'll be back after this 3-minute break. Welcome back to the Terrebonne General Community Sports Institute Game of the Week from here at McFadden Stadium on the campus of LaGrange High School. Our score, Vandebilt Catholic 14, Lake Charles Prep 14, as the opening kickoff of the second half has just happened. It is kicked down there. Sid sends a sky kick up there. Not sure who's on the return, but I know this. It was a pretty good kick because they kept it away from Aiden Carter.
Yeah, I tell you what, they kind of just pooched up in the middle right there, and which is good. And this is going to be a big series for Vandebilt here. You know, don't let them get on the board on this first drive. Let's try to hold them back here in their own territory, get the ball, and go down and score on them.
Just a little side note. Aiden Carter wasn't in the game on there, and he's on the sideline, and I don't think we're going to see Aiden Carter again. He's got his hands in his pockets, and he's just sort of hobbling around on the sideline.
He walked off pretty good. It was his ankle when they went check on him.
I thought he was good to go, but he's not now, as the Trailblazers play 1st and 10 from their own 34, and they get a pretty good gain here. Ooh, up to about the 40-yard line. That's good, tough running in there. Let's get a number on that, because it was not Vital. It was actually Guillory on the run.
Yeah, Gabe Douglas stuck him pretty good right in his gut.
Now, number 35, Colin Guillory on the run. Entering the game is Philip Hunter. Number 0, who often lines up at quarterback when we don't see Vital in the game. And that is Hunter, who goes around left end. He's got good speed, folks. He's down the sideline. He's going to get down to about the 25-yard line. He just got the perimeter, and once he got the perimeter, you could see what kind of speed. Again, Philip Hunter, who lines up at the quarterback position. And Philip Hunter has had to play quarterback since their first game of the year all the way through week 10 until Dylan Vital came back. And there he is, calling for the ball again. Guillory is lined up in the backfield with him to his right as he is in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the left on the short side of the field. And Hunter gives it off to Guillory. Ooh, a big hole in the middle. He's going to get nice yardage. He's got a first down and more. He is down all the way inside the 10-yard line, down to about the 7.
Yeah, I tell you what, he drugged 2 Vanderbilt guys with him out of bounds, too. He's running the ball hard. But like you said, Carter, we saw him on the sideline. His ankle is taped up pretty good.
Oh, I see. LCCP is trying to pick up the tempo now, and they do just that. It's Guillory again. Not going to get much on this one. As a matter of fact, gains nothing, as it looks like the Trailblazers are going to be 2nd and goal to go from the 9.
Yeah, Menard on the bottom of the pile for the Terriers.
Yeah, no doubt. Trailblazers trying to pick up the pace here. Philip Hunter in the shotgun. He calls for it. He's got it. He gives it off to Guillory again. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, I tell you what, that time, Crash Menard on the stop with some help from number 30. It was a 38. Yeah, I couldn't find his. He wouldn't turn toward me.
Here we go, 3rd down, and now the Trailblazers slow it down a whole lot, and they're going to put their starting quarterback, the passer, in there, Dylan Vital. Vital, again, 6'2", 200 pounds. Last year threw for over 2,700 yards, was all district, and hasn't played very much this year due to injury. He's going to throw it, and he throws it to nobody, really. Threw it high. So one thing, he's known to be inaccurate at times, and here's where they just can't, they can't score because they can't kick field goals.
So that time, Vanderbilt, they had trips to the right. Vanderbilt had two defenders out there, and the safety was playing kind of deep, so I thought they might go to that guy, but they didn't.
Well, this is the 3rd time they've been down there deep in Vanderbilt territory, and every time they had to go for it on 4th down because they obviously don't have a kicking game. And Vanderbilt has held true. 3 receivers to the right. Vital is going to be set up at about the 16. He's rolling out to his right to pass it. He throws it back.
Whoa, boy, I tell you what.
Dropped from the get-go. Guillory, I don't know if he'd have got in the end zone, though.
Nah, Vanderbilt had 2 guys out there on the coverage, so he picked up some decent yards, but he'd have had to break a tackle from 2 guys to get in the end zone.
Maybe this is the coaching coming out in me, you know, and I hate, because this is, you know, something that we do and we come out here, but we enjoy football. People, special teams is part of the football game.
Yep.
And the kicking game is huge. Of course, in 1991, I'm glad it wasn't, because old Perry Walker couldn't kick. And we got by him. But that being said, this team just cannot kick the ball. Vandebilt gets it 1st and 10 from their own 11-yard line. Heaney is in there at quarterback. Now they shift actually to the left side, 2 tight ends to the left side, and they give it to Thibodeau.
Oh.
Not much, not much.
I'll tell you what, good tackle by number 9.
Here's the problem with that. Number
Brandon
9,
Reed.
yeah, no, he's coming up from his linebacker position like a jet. And right here soon, Vanderbilt's just going to pop a long one.
Oh, yeah. They went from a 4-man front. They bring a 5th guy up there every now and then. Now he's on the left side.
Heaney is back there. Bourgeois to the right, LePere to the left. And they give it again to Thibodeau. He's trying to get on the perimeter, and he can't. Too much speed for LCCP.
Yeah, they did a good job that time of turning him inside. They strung him out, Elijah Frank.
Give it a gain of 1. Bring up 3rd down and 8 for the Terriers.
Yeah, the linebackers for Lake Charles, all of them 6 foot, 205, 200, and they move quick.
Heaney in the shotgun. Along there with him is Thibodeau, still in the game. 2 receivers to the right, 1 spread out to the left, and they're looking downfield. They go downfield, and he was open. It was just kind of thrown behind him. This time, I would say that the Lake Charles Prep cornerback slipped on the play. It was open, but unfortunately, the pass was just sort of tough to haul in. It's the first time we sort of seen Vanderbilt just go 3 and out.
Yeah, in fact, Lake Charles Prep, the cornerback was right up on Bourgeois that time.
Yeah, Bobby, I'm going to go ahead and say I think Aiden Carter is done in this game. Yeah. He is on the sideline. He's not even with the rest of the kids. No. He's actually by the heater down
by the
there.
Heater, yeah.
He's that kid's by the heater. That ain't going to get you his college scholarship.
Hurry.
The kick is off. Pretty good kick. Takes a Vandebilt bounce, a nice bounce, all the way down to the 42-yard line. It looked for a bit there like Lake Charles was going to block it.
Yeah, they were coming hard that time. I thought they were going to get it.
But he gets it off, and do we have a penalty on the play?
I missed that.
I'm not quite sure. I see the white hat staying back by himself.
I don't think it was roughing the kick.
It was on by the side judge.
Oh, okay.
And they are asking Lake Charles Prep. They're giving them the option. I'm going to ask Sean if he may have seen illegal participation. Oh, formation. I'm sorry. Illegal formation on Vanderbilt Catholic. I think they're going to mark this off from the 42. Let's see if they walk off 5 yards, 10, 15. 5 yards. I could not have told you what illegal participation's penalty yardage was.
So it gives Lake Charles some pretty decent field position.
Yep, ball's going to be spotted at their own 47-yard line. They'll play 1st and 10. Again, that looks like Philip Hunter, who's in there at quarterback. So we don't see Dylan Vital. We don't see Aiden Carter anymore. And that is actually Guillory with the ball. I think it was snapped to him, and he faked it to Philip Hunter.
Yeah, stopped by Crash Menard. Like I said earlier, Menard has a nose for the football, and when he hits you, he does a great job wrapping up those ball carriers.
1 yard on the play. 2nd down and 9 for Lake Charles Prep. 7:47 left in the 3rd quarter. Our score 14-14. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Vital throws it out there.
No.
Kind of a timing route, and the timing was off.
Yeah, kind of threw it short.
I'm very impressed with his arm. Then after that, I'm not sure.
You know, last week in the Carver game, the Carver quarterback, big tall guy, 6'5", and you know he could hum it like this. You know, now he kind of not quite as accurate as Lake Charles quarterback, but Vanderbilt's defensive backs did a good job of picking him off. So I think that's going to happen here pretty soon.
3rd down and 9 for the Trailblazers. Vital with the ball. He throws it downfield, and it is incomplete. A chance of being complete, but the ball sort of sailed on Vital, so they'll have to punt. And again, their kicking game has not been very good in this one.
Jaden Coleman on a great coverage by Jaden Coleman that time.
For you folks out there maybe tuning in wondering, you don't know much about Lake Charles Prep, the school was actually just chartered in 2014, and they only had freshmen that year, so they each year gained a different class, and now they're a pretty good football team. And there is the punt. It is down to LePere. He calls for a fair catch. It is hauled in at the 27-yard line. Vanderbilt will play 1st and 10.
Now, staying that time, Vanderbilt didn't even put a rush on. They just kind of stood up at the line of scrimmage.
Kicking was Guillory on that one. And I guess the job was pretty good. It's not like it was a great punt, but it certainly wasn't a situation where it was off the side of the foot or whatever the case may be. Vanderbilt will set up 1st and 10, 7:22 left in the 3rd quarter, 14-14 in this one. Again, the ball is spotted at the 27 of the Terriers. Heaney with the ball. He pitches it out on the option, and a good run. That's a great run by Bryce Thibodeau. He's still on his feet. He's picking up yardage. Somewhere along the line in this game, I have a feeling Vanderbilt's sort of going to demoralize those guys.
Yeah, I tell you what, Kay Fontenot made a nice job of tackling him for the play. He made a few guys miss him on that play.
It won't be long. We're going to see that go route by Vanderbilt. Yeah. Heaney in the shotgun. He's got it, and he keeps it, and he's going to pick up great yardage. Down to the 30, down to the 20, down to about the 15-yard line. Great play as Vanderbilt's offensive coordinator has done a terrific job of setting up this game related to how they're calling plays.
Well, I tell you what, they had trips right, 2 trips left that time. Had everybody scattered out. And when he decided to run it, the cornerback on that side, he was going down the field covering his man. There was nobody there.
1st and 10 for the Terriers. The ball is at, let's call it the 16-yard line. Heaney with the ball. He gives it off again to Thibodeau. Thibodeau's going to get a few on the play. Offensive coordinator Easton Melancon, what a great job as, again, I think they're sort of mixing things up now and keeping Lake Charles Prep off balance. One thing to remember, even if the Terriers don't get it into the end zone, they do have a kicking game. They can get that 3-point conversion.
Yeah, and they're in field goal range.
Second and 8 for the Terriers. Ball is down to the 14-yard line. They're going to dump it off, and that's a touchdown.
Good job.
Simple as can be. That looks like number 10.
Yep.
I don't want to call it 18 this time. No. That is number 10 on the touchdown. Jacob Breerwood, the senior tight end. Vanderbilt takes the lead.
I'll tell you what, he got to give it to Heaney. He put the ball in the running back's gut and left it there for a little while just to freeze those corners and then linebackers, and he pulls it out wide open in the end zone.
On to try the extra point is Sidden. On the hold is Cullen Verdun, only a sophomore, the backup quarterback for the Terriers. He's got it. He puts it down. The kick is up. And the kick is good. Vanderbilt takes the lead in this one with 6:04 left in the 3rd quarter. Our score, the Terriers 21, the Trailblazers 14. You're listening to the Terrebonne General Community Sports Institute Game of the Week. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. Welcome back to the Terrebonne General Community Sports Institute Game of the Week here from McFadden Stadium on the campus of LaGrange High School. Our score with 6:04 left in the third quarter. Vandebilt Catholic 21, Lake Charles College Prep 14. Vandebilt just scored on a beautiful drive where it was a mix of run and pass. On the touchdown was Breerwood, the tight end, on the pass, which basically fooled all of Lake Charles Prep. Sidden is kicking off now. He kicks it down to about the 25 on the return. Let's get that number, is number 25 for the Trailblazers. That is Deshaun Beebe, and he kind of stumbles all over himself. He doesn't run like Aiden Carter runs, but again, I don't think we're going to see Aiden Carter for the rest of this game.
Now, Torrin Sparrow on the stop on the return. Now that was a big play right there for the Terriers. Don't give them anything big plays to get the momentum to shift. Terriers need to hold here and get some more points on the board.
I do think they have things figured out on offense. Let's see what they do on defense. The ball is spotted right on the 30-yard line. It's a give on first down and not much doing. Maybe a yard. Number 0, don't get too crazy out there.
No, just tackle him.
Just tackle.
There's Trenton Townsend on the stop for the Terriers.
That'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Clock running, 5:38 to go in the third quarter. Vanderbilt leads 21-14.
Lake Charles Prep, when they get it on the perimeter, something happens, but they hadn't even been able to do that very much in this game. That is a nice dump over the middle by Vital. He throws it out to number 2. His favorite target out there, or at least his favorite target today, Caden Jones, who picks up the first down for the Trailblazers. Ball is now at the 43-yard line. 1st and 10, Lake Charles Prep.
Yeah, just a little quick hitter. Nice play by Lake Charles Prep.
Vital with 2 running backs on each side of him. They give it off. Philip Hunter on a nice run. He does get the perimeter, and he's going to get a first down as he runs it all the way down to the 42-yard line, now in Terrier territory.
Gabe Douglas on the stop, runs him out of bounds for Vanderbilt.
Again, Lake Charles Prep trying to speed it up just a little bit. Vital asking for the ball, and we got an offsides on Vanderbilt Catholic. I got to tell you, that's a tough one because a young man was just trying to make something happen, and he walked up to the line, and that's Xavier Moses. Kind of walked up and jumped in the neutral zone, and that's enough to get a flag in high school football.
Yeah, I tell you what, I know Coach Wallace does not want this to happen right here. They momentum shifted a little bit for the Terriers, but they went and pulled ahead, but now they're letting Lake Charles Prep get back in.
That'll be a 2nd and 5 for the Trailblazers. Ball is at, again, the 37-yard line. Pass to nobody. That was a miscommunication on the part of Lake Charles Prep. And I don't know if you guys can hear it, but through the microphone, possibly you kind of picked up the discontent of the fans of Lake Charles Prep. They didn't like that.
Yeah, the receiver was kind of on the fly route down the sideline. He just threw it short.
2nd and 5 for the Trailblazers. Vital in the shotgun, standing at about the 44. He's got it. He's going to throw it. Throws it over the middle. What a catch.
Oh, man.
Nice. Oh, my goodness. What a catch. Caden Jones catches the ball over the middle for a first down. The ball is now down to the 21-yard line of Vanderbilt. And it wasn't a great pass, but it's, I would say that this kid's offsides.
There we go. He thought he was in Canada. He was taking off.
Illegal motion on the play. That was a tight end, number 35, Guillory, who I'm not sure what he was thinking.
Nah, I think
he was thinking he was in Canada.
In Canada, he was getting a head start.
He was playing for Saskatchewan. What team in Canada is red, Bobby?
I'm trying to think.
I don't have a clue.
Nah.
Saskatchewan, I think, is green.
They green and red or something.
Yeah. Here we go. 1st and 10 for the Trailblazers. 15 to go on this one. They're going to pick up a few, but the interior of Vanderbilt's doing a really good job.
Yeah, I think that's Fairchild on the stop for the Terriers. He's been a little quiet, Fairchild. Normally we call his name a lot.
Pickup of 2 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 13 for the Trailblazers.
This is a big series here for the Terriers. They need to stop him. Don't give him any points.
Vital with the ball. He's looking downfield. He's going to hum it deep.
Oh!
Overthrows everybody. Pretty good defense by Vanderbilt Catholic back there.
I tell you what, great job that time by number 21. Liam Voisin.
That'll bring up a 3rd down and long for LCCP. Remember, folks, no kicking game for the Trailblazers.
And Ruston just took the lead, 35-28 with 2 minutes left in the 3rd.
Get ready, I'm telling you. It's going to be worse than that. Although I am impressed with Southside. Don't get me wrong. I am impressed. Here we go. Vital back there, 3rd and 12. He's going to throw it. He's looking to his left. And he's going to have it complete. Down to about the 12. It's going to be very close to a 1st down. All depends on the spot.
Yeah, I tell you what, he just ran straight down, did a little hook. Vanderbilt was not letting him get behind him. That's what it looked like. So,
yeah, it'll bring up a 4th down. They're short, about a half a yard. One thing interesting about this team, they do not get under center at all.
No.
Everything's out of the shotgun, which I really don't understand when you only need a half a yard. But here we go. Actually, it's Philip Hunter in there. He's got the ball at the quarterback. He might have a touchdown. He's down inside the 1 yard line. What a great run by Philip Hunter.
Yeah, I tell you what, good, like you said, great job at running the ball. All you needed was one, went right off left tackle.
Oh, and by the way, that's why you go out of the shotgun when you need
That's
a half a yard. Yep, the game has passed me by. St. Charles Catholic goes out to 17-0 over E.D. White. Boy, their defense is spectacular. Here we go. Goal to goal from inside the 1 yard line. And it's Hunter with the ball. And Philip Hunter's going to be close, but I don't think he gets in.
No, good job by the Terriers right there on the bottom of the pile. Looks like getting up. There's Crash Menard.
When Philip Hunter is in there at quarterback, it looks like a punt return. It looks like, hey, you're just going to find a hole somewhere.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Get by. We're going to try an ISO block up front. You just find a little hole and get in it.
Just take off.
Heck, he might have lost a little bit on it. It shows the ball is still at the 1 yard line, but from here it looks like it's just outside the 1. 2nd and goal to go. Again, our score, Vandebilt Catholic 21. Lake Charles Prep 14. And at quarterback, this is a different guy. I'm not sure who that is. Did he get in? And they are saying he's down inside the 1. I got to tell you, his body looks like it's in the end zone.
It looks like he's laying in the end zone.
He is laying in the end zone. But he may have kind of slid into the end zone.
Yeah, I tell you what, great job by Vanderbilt on that side.
That is Guillory who was on the run, number 35, a little bit more girth in there. Ball's got to be right outside the end zone. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Sean said his body actually hit down. So that ball is right there, nip and tuck, right on the goal line. 3rd down and a matter of inside of a yard.
Let's see, pretty obvious what they're going to do here.
In the game is Philip Hunter at quarterback, number 0. He's got it. He's following his fullback, and he's in. Got in easy. Philip Hunter, sophomore running back. Can you imagine?
Oh, I know.
Sophomore running back. He is in, and there is a player from Vanderbilt who is down and hurt on the field. It looks like number 8 for the Terriers.
Yeah, number 8 from the Terriers. Jaden Coleman.
He's getting up, so that's a good thing for sure. Again, a huge thanks to Terrebonne General's athletic trainers who are out there, Bo Wallace and Destiny Atkins.
Now here's where the difference comes in with no kicker, you know. You're going to have
Got to go for 2.
Got to go for 2.
Good
and bad.
The earlier conversions on the first one, they had Aiden Carter in the game, and he got around in. Unfortunately, Aiden Carter is not there if you're a LCCP fan. And the last time they tried it, it was actually a run by him that was stopped short of the goal line.
Carter's gotten away from the heater. So.
St. Charles Catholic now out in front of E.D. White 24-0 in that game. Remember, St. Charles Catholic beat Shaw 24-0 too. I mean, that's a good football team. Everybody's saying they're, the team you really have to gear up for to play in this bracket.
Yeah, and then move to the new district next year. They're all going to be together.
Well, the one thing that's interesting, folks, is Vandebilt and E.D. White are the only 4A teams left in this bracket. Yeah. Everybody else is 3A. So don't get caught up too much in all that stuff. Here we go, 2-point conversion. Philip Hunter making something happen.
No.
And unless he put the ball over the goal line, I think he's short.
He's short. He doesn't get in.
And he does not get in. Y'all are exactly right. The official on that side had it called from the get-go.
Yeah, I saw the official point straight down. Yeah.
I agree with that. I agree with the call. I was looking at the coach, and the coach is not too happy with one young man out there who probably had a role. Oh, it's actually Philip Hunter who he's a little disappointed with.
He made a great effort, though. You got to give it to him. He dove for that to try to get over the goal line. He tried to stretch the ball over.
I'm going to guess that Lake Charles Prep doesn't play much soccer, because I'd have went find a kid who can kick a little bit.
There's got to be somebody in this neighborhood who can kick the ball.
Well, unfortunately, not happening for them.
No.
Kicking, listed on their roster is Jornell Jenks, who's out there to kick the kickoff. But again, this is a great opportunity for Vandebilt to get out to a 2-score lead.
Yeah, because he doesn't kick the ball that far.
And I got to tell you, between the two kids back there, Emil and LaPere, they both have the potential to really get Vandebilt in good field position.
Yeah, give Fairchild a lot of credit on that last.
Not a bad job right there by the young man from Vandebilt Catholic, who does a really good job of falling on the ball. Give a little credit to number 31 out there for Vandebilt Catholic as he hauls it in and he makes sure he gives them good field position. Mark LaPere, a senior running back for Vandebilt.
Yeah, like I said, I want to give Fairchild some credit on that last stop. He played his position great. Wouldn't let him get outside, trying to contain him, made him stretch it out, and down for the end zone, which he didn't get.
Here we go, 1:30 left in the third quarter. Vandebilt up 21-20 in this game. Heaney back there at quarterback. He's calling for the ball. Smith is to his right. Smith has the ball. And Smith makes a good job, does a good job, of breaking that first tackle. He's going to pick up good yardage out there. He's going to end up with 8 yards on first down.
Oh, I tell you what, he made a nice turn, nice tackle that time by Benjamin Williams, who prevented him from turning that corner. 1:04 to go in the third quarter. Vandebilt leads 21-20.
Would you say Benjamin Williams, like the paint? Benjamin?
That's Benjamin.
It's not Benjamin Williams?
Nah.
Here we go. We have a stoppage in play. I'm not sure what this is about. Does Vandebilt take a timeout?
Must have.
I tell you what, Vanderbilt's calling all of the kids together, which I'm not quite sure about. But while they're taking a timeout, let's take a quick 30-second timeout. Our score: Vandebilt Catholic 21, Lake Charles Prep 20. We'll be back right after this short break. Welcome back to McFadden Stadium here on the campus of LaGrange High School. You're listening to the Terrebonne General Community Sports Institute Game of the Week. Our score with 50 seconds left in the third quarter: Vandebilt Catholic 21, Lake Charles Prep 20. Vandebilt playing a 2nd and 2 from their own 47-yard line. Ethan Heaney, the quarterback, calls for it. He's got it, and he wants to throw it. Doesn't see anybody open. Scrambling around right in. Dumps it off. What a great pass on the run. He dumps it off to number 11, Corey Bourgeois. The sophomore hauls it in. He's got a first down.
Oh, to give Heaney a lot of credit on that play. He's fixing to be in a little trouble, but he kind of waited it out and got his man open. He just dumped it over to him. So Stan, we got the paint company, Benjamin Moore.
Benjamin Moore.
We had a few texts here.
Sorry.
Yeah, for all you paint enthusiasts.
I'm not quite sure who Benjamin Williams is. I don't know why I said that.
That's Benjamin Moore's uncle.
That's his uncle?
Yeah. Call him Benny.
Heaney in the shotgun, and he gives it to Smith right up the middle. Smith gets good yardage. Smith had an excellent game last week. Ran for well over 100 yards last week. But he's down on this one. He's not getting up, man. Something with his leg. Let's hope that's a leg cramp. They're going to take a look at him. We'll keep it right here. Again, as the athletic trainers for Vandebilt Catholic come out.
Yeah, looks like a cramp.
Yeah, you love when they pick up that leg and they get that cramp out, because you know that's what it is. You don't see it that much at this time of the year.
That's the worst feeling, though.
By the way, if you're a high school kid playing football, tonight, which is probably about 48 degrees with a wind, now it is windy out there, is a whole lot better than in August. Brian Wallace comes out there. Brian is really good at coming check on all of his players out on the field. He does that often whenever he has an injury, to check on the kids. And over the last couple of years, got to be friends with Coach Wallace. Does an excellent job. And now he sort of shares those head coaching duties with athletic director duties. So kind of piles it up there for him. This is one you don't want hurt for future play if you're fortunate enough to win and move on. By the way, we've said it multiple times, folks. The winner of this one, in all probability, going to be taking on Shaw High School. Shaw is railroading Loyola Prep up in Shreveport right now. And most people, when the bracket came out, sort of dismissed Loyola Prep from the get-go in that one. Shaw has an updated score. It's now 31-0. Again, Shaw having no problem with Loyola Prep. The winner of this one would host Shaw next week.
I'll tell you what, with Lake Charles Prep missing that extra point, that's going to be crucial if Vanderbilt can get on the board right here.
Agree.
You know, that'd be some big points.
And for our Lutcher fans down there, Iowa just went in front of Lutcher 28-21. Again, Iowa undefeated this year, so that's a good football team. Madison Prep 24, University 22. That's a tough one because University barely beat Madison Prep 14-8 just a couple of weeks ago. And now you got to turn around and play them right again. Second down and about 6 for the Terriers. Nice to see Smith walk off the field. We do think that was a leg cramp situation.
Just get some pickle juice in him and he's ready to go.
Bobby and the pickle juice.
Glass of pickle juice, he'll be running around like a gazelle.
Boy, that band's loud. Heaney calling for the ball. He's got it. He's running it all the way. He's going to have a first down.
Oh, just tripped up.
I thought he might even have a lot more than that for a while, but it looks like he's got the first down. And now another young man for Vanderbilt is down with, it looks like, leg cramps.
Yeah, David Thomas, 6'2", 180-pound cornerback.
22 seconds left here in the third quarter. We can't seem to get out of this third quarter.
Trying to get out of this thing, yeah.
Bobby, you got the jet at the Lake Charles Airport ready for us.
Ready to go. I got my personal jet just come in. I told him to come get us, save us that 3.5-hour drive back. What time does Daryl's close? We can get us one for the road. I mean, get us a roast beef for the road.
I don't think Daryl stays open. Although when we went in there, it was 3:30 and it was packed. And for everybody out there who's like, what are they talking about, Daryl? Daryl's has a famous pull boy place. Not only here, there's one in Jennings too. But man, those things are packed. They're very good. And today, I think the entire population of McNeese State was sitting in there when we went in at about 3 o'clock. Sean, I'm not sure. Did you get a number of who's down there? Young man is on his back. We hope that that's another cramping situation. It didn't look too serious.
I think he's okay. He's getting
Well,
up.
they're helping him up, so I do
Number
think
26.
26 for the Terriers is Easton Klingman.
Yeah, I think next time I'm going to get that hand pull boy. That looked pretty good, too.
All of them look pretty good.
Yeah.
All of them look pretty good. And it's interesting, folks, from here in the press box, but once again, we'll say it again, this is the nicest press box.
Oh, man.
Bathroom up here looks like a collegiate press box.
Tell you what.
We are looking at the Golden Nugget and the LeBurge. So if you can envision that, it's out there on the horizon.
I always rate the press boxes we go in. This gets my 5-star rating. As big as it is, private, I wouldn't say private, individual rooms, bathrooms, that sells me right there, man.
So you need to, like, while we're doing this game, you know, when we get in the fourth quarter, when we have a timeout, we need to know your top 5.
Oh, I can give you those. Oh, heck yeah.
Here we go. Heaney calling for the ball. 1st and 10 for the Terriers. The ball is spotted at the Trailblazer 31-yard line. And that is the end of the half. They were just waiting for the half to end, trying to draw them offside. A good quarter of football for Vandebilt Catholic. They take the lead in this one, 21-20. One more quarter to play, folks. You've been listening to the Terrebonne General Community Sports Institute Game of the Week. Vandebilt Catholic 21, Lake Charles Prep 20. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. First and 10 for the Terriers as Ethan Heaney, the quarterback, tries to run it around the left side, and there is nothing there. Good job by the left side of the interior line for Lake Charles Prep.
Yeah, and they are trying to strip the ball out of his hands, so they're gonna have to hang on tight here, because that's the only way they're gonna get the ball to stop this drive, is strip it out of their hands.
Bryce Thibodeau back in the game at running back. He's going to line up to the left of Heaney. 2 receivers to the top. I see LaPere out there. And let's see who else is out there. Bourgeois. But Heaney going to run with it, and he's going to pick up good yardage. Good fake in the middle. Actually faked me out too, as he's going to get it inside the 20-yard line. Vandebilt in the red zone.
Yeah, Malvo on the stop. Yeah, Heaney does a great job of keeping the ball in the running back's gut, you know, to the last second and pulls it out. That just freezes those linebackers and gives him a chance to pick up great yardage, and he does that well.
Again, I give Easton Malonzo a lot of credit. He is calling a good game, especially in this 3rd and 4th quarter, where he's got Lake Charles Prep on their heels in this game. First and 10 for the Terriers. Heaney taking it again. He's going to pick up pretty good yardage on 1st down. Most people will take 5 at any time.
Yeah, he had a nice hold there. Good recovery that time by Watkins.
By the way, real quickly, want to go down the line of the coaches at Vandebilt Catholic. The head coach, obviously, Brian Wallace. We mentioned that earlier. Defensive coordinator, Stuart Hanna. Speaking of doing a pretty good job in this game, he's doing just that. Again, the defensive coordinator, Easton Malonzo. Offensive lineman, Chandler Arsenault. Young man I've been knowing pretty much all his life, who's a terrific young man. Defensive lineman, line coaches, Glenn Thurman. Wide receivers is Ashton Dewey. Tight ends, Hal Bolin. Hal is actually right next to us in the press box, a terrific guy. Assistant defensive backs is Dawson Martinez, and assistant linebackers is James DeZormo, doing a great job in this game. And did I miss something? Because I see they're back 5 yards. First and 15. I'm sorry, there was a holding on the play. And obviously the Trailblazers took that penalty. And here is Heaney going again. And I tell you what, they turning it over to him. He's in the end zone.
He got in, touchdown.
Touchdown. What a great run. That young man just took it over. Lake Charles Prep has no answer for him. Well, and now they're realizing with an extra point, they're 2 scores down.
Yeah. So I tell you what, great call that time, because instead of keep handing the ball off, he did a great keep the ball, and he's hard to bring down. So great calls by the Vandebilt offensive coordinator on that.
This is a big extra point.
Yep.
Just to make it that spread. 27-20 at this point. In to kick it is Sidden. It is good. Our score with 10:20 left, 20-28 in this ball game. So not only would Lake Charles Prep have to get a touchdown, they would have to get the 2-point conversion to tie it up. And there's certainly a difference in the sidelines right now. Vandebilt seems a little bit more focused and ready to go. I still am looking for number 1 down there. There he is.
He's by the heater.
He's by the heater.
He's warm. I tell you, he's keeping that ankle warm.
That's a little disappointing, because I think that kid's got a lot of potential, but you want to be a little bit more energetic than that. But he is down there, and that's Aiden Carter, who actually had a big touchdown run earlier in this game off of a kick return. Well, I've been impressed with Vandebilt in the second half, just being patient, getting the things they've had to do on the ground and in the air.
Yeah, Vanderbilt's defense, we've been impressed with them all year, and they showed tonight, they can play. They've stopped a good running game of Lake Charles Prep.
All those coaches I mentioned earlier, they do a terrific job of having those kids in the right place at the right time. The kicker in there again, Sidden, kicks it, sky kick, down to nowhere land. It is hauled in by a young man from Lake Charles Prep, but he doesn't look like a threat to return it for a touchdown.
Nah, I tell you what, good job that time. Down there on the play was Trenton Townsend, made the initial stop in plenty of white jerseys. Good job on that kick. Don't let him get out. Keep him surrounded where he can make a tackle, and don't give him no big plays.
Well, that's Deshaun Beebe again who hauls that in. Credit him for going to get the ball, because some guys just on the high school level don't even.
We've seen that already.
Yeah, just kind of let it fall. So he understood that, but not much of a return.
Now here's a big series here for the Terrier defense.
Well, here's the one thing you know for sure. When they have number 15 in there for Lake Charles Prep, Dylan Vital, there's a terrific chance it's going to be a pass play, and that's just what they do again, although they don't even get it off. Illegal motion. So that's going to set them back 5 yards. They'll be playing 1st and 15. Again, the Terriers up 28-20, an 8-point lead with 10-13.
The only thing that scares me here, they're still in the game, even though it's 8 points, because they got to go for 2,
Bobby, I'm not scared.
You're not scared, okay.
I'm not scared.
Okay. Not that I'm scared.
I know. That's why I said it. I
know.
I know exactly what you meant. It's a figure of speech.
I know.
Here we go. Quarterback back there again. This time he's going to give it, and they're going to get back maybe to the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 5 on the play.
Fairchild on the stop with help from LeConte.
So the marker is showing 4 yards, so we'll call it 2nd and 11.
The Terriers need to eat this clock up.
By the way, LaGrange Field, this McFadden, excuse me, his official name, beautiful place, but they don't have one of those markers that's lit up.
Yeah, right. that helps us.
Here we go, 2nd and 11. Vital going to throw it all the way down the field. Young man is wide open. Oh, Lord, a good pass is a touchdown. And listen, credit that young man for Vandebilt for getting back there and at least getting in the way of the ball.
Yeah, that was Liam Voisin.
That is a terrific play. Only a sophomore, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he had him beat, too. He was down. Wazan goes up with him and knocks the ball away.
I think he got the wind knocked out of him, too. But I got to tell you, he recovered and made the play. I don't know that Vital can throw the ball that far, but that young man was wide open behind everybody. Again, credit the athletic trainers for coming out, checking on these kids. Let's see, a couple of more scores that we can give you. Carr is now out in front 21-6. Shaw, we mentioned this a little earlier, 31-0 over Loyola Prep. So Shaw looks like they're going to win that one. They are entering the fourth quarter there. University Lab is 2 points short of Madison Prep. St. Charles Catholic now has 31. They are up over E.D. White 31-0 in that game. Unfortunately for E.D. White, it looks like the season is going to come to an end. We certainly hope the quarterback is okay. We know that he was dinged up. We have some preliminary reports, but obviously we're not going to say because we don't know for sure exactly the extent of the injury.
Wazan good, jogging off the field. I think he got the wind knocked out.
Oh, I think he did too. The way he ran into him was like that when we were kids playing in the backyard and we got the wind knocked out of us for a while.
Yeah, nothing hurts more than getting a cramp or getting the wind knocked out of you.
He actually ran right back to the huddle to try getting a play, but somebody had to tell him, you can't get back in right now.
Right, that's it. Nobody behind you. Vandebilt on defense. Nobody deep.
3rd down and 11 for the Trailblazers. Vital back to pass. He's got a scramble. He's not a runner.
Oh, good. Oh, in and out.
Tell you what, he's been unfortunately not been a guy who's got a lot of help from a couple of his receivers today. Now that's Guillory, who's actually a guy out of the backfield. Nice pass, though, on the run. Yeah, you got to give him credit.
He was open, you know.
I doubted his accuracy at times today, but that was a terrific pass. Unfortunately, he didn't come up with it.
Yeah, they're going to punt here, so.
Yep, they're going to punt. And I got to tell you, you've got to be careful. I think LePere is a guy who's very dangerous, especially in a situation like this. Back to punt. I think that is Guillory. It's a short punt. LePere's not going to deal with it. He's going to let it hit the ground.
Oh, it just dies right there.
And it dies in Lake Charles Prep territory. Vandebilt with another opportunity to put a little space.
The Terriers here could have a nice time-consuming drive and at least get 3 on the board. That would really be a plus for them.
I'm going to give an offensive lineman down there a little bit of a shout-out. Number 71, Philip Sinak, is telling the entire offensive line, and although we obviously can't hear what he's saying, you can just about guess that he was saying, this is it.
That's
this
right.
is when we put the nail in the car, because he's being adamant about it. So let's see what happens here.
Because we know Shaw is winning big.
Yeah, we want to be at home next week.
Because some parents are hollering there, Shaw's winning big. We got to.
Here we go. Heaney is back there. He gives it off to Thibodeau. Oh, man.
Good
what
run.
a good run.
Stay in bounds. There you go. Stayed in bounds.
I have a sneaky suspicion that Lake Charles Prep is starting to get frustrated just a little bit.
Yeah, Elijah Frank on the stop for Lake Charles Prep. All right, Vandebilt here just milked this clock. That's the only thing bad when the clock's not working, but you got to watch the back judge. He'll give you the signal when there's 10 seconds left. Wow, that was quick.
Second and 4 for the Terriers. Heaney calling for the ball. In the backfield is Thibodeau. Oh, nice little reverse play, and LePere going to have the first down, but boy, he just gets it. I thought he might get more out of that play when it was first set up.
Yeah, he was trying to fight to stay in bounds, but I think he did. They're just stopping it to move the chains.
First down and 10 for the Terriers. 8:21, and the clock is moving. The best we know, folks, is that both teams still have all of their timeouts intact.
Let's see if Vandebilt milks this clock down. But the back judge is kind of hard to tell. He raises his hand and he puts it down. I don't think that's the signal, though. See, like right here.
See, I'm not sure what he's doing right now.
He puts
I've never
it down.
seen that before.
Yeah. Uh-oh, we got
Let's see
whistle.
what we got here. Boy, these two line judges, they look like twin brothers, and they like to throw flags.
Yeah, Let's see.
Offsides. Defense.
Okay. We'll take that.
Got somebody lined up in the neutral zone. That's an easy 5 for the Terriers. That'll set up a 1st and 5, and as any offensive coach would tell you, that's probably the biggest open playbook you probably can have. I think you're going to start to see the Heaney and Thibodeau show. And there's Thibodeau, and that's a 1st down and a lot more. He runs it all the way down to the 20-yard line, just short of the 20-yard line. 1st down, Terriers.
Yeah, on the stop for Lake Charles Prep, it was number 2, Caden Jones, cornerback, 5'11", 175.
That brings up a 1st down for the Terriers, not quite in the red zone, if you consider the 20 the red zone.
Oh, we had a penalty.
Wow.
For the white hat, yeah, he's backing him up. I didn't see that. I don't know.
He actually made the call already, and I guess we're not going to be privy to it, or we just missed it.
I didn't see it. I didn't see him make any kind of call.
It's 5 yards, whatever it is, so it's not a major infraction. 5 yards from...
And Coach Wiles is asking him what happened.
Says it's an illegal formation. I would, listen, those guys do the best they can, but that wasn't an illegal formation. And Coach Wallace is trying to get an explanation, but yeah, that wasn't an illegal formation. So wait a minute, now they're going to talk about it again. Bobby, you the analyst.
Yeah, I mean, why would they have ran the play? Why would they have just blown it dead?
Yeah, I'm a little confused because the play was long gone.
Yeah.
It was done. Everybody was set up, ready to go.
Yeah, I think the ref's trying to explain it to the white hat.
I don't think they realized what the formation was to even call it. I'm telling you, these twin line judges, kind of interesting. They're not going to change it.
I don't think Coach Wallace agrees with him. I don't blame him.
Yeah, that would be, listen, you have a 1st down deep in their territory. Yeah. That changes things just a little bit. Heaney asking for the ball. He's going to pick up pretty good yardage. He's going to get down close to a 1st down. He'll be a little short, but a great run by Ethan Heaney, the senior quarterback.
Yeah, ball popped out, but he was down already. Yeah, the main thing here is Vandebilt stay in bounds, let that clock run.
And make sure you hold on to the football.
Yeah, because they're going to be trying to strip it.
Ooh, he's quite short at a 1st down. I'm sorry. He's still got almost 3.5 yards to go for a 1st down. 2nd down, I'm sorry. Sean, our spotter's got me on cue right here. Sorry, that Daryl's pull boy is messing me up a little bit.
You're thinking of going to get that hand pull boy after.
It's got me thinking of going back over there.
Yeah, we can swing by there now. We get one for the road.
Here we go. 2nd down and 3, let's call it. Heaney with the ball. He gives it off to Thibodeau. Thibodeau does a little jitterbug work. Man, I thought he might get the 1st down, but he's going to be, I would like to say a yard short, but the angle I'm at right now in the press box, I'm not sure. It's going to be close.
Well, Lake Charles Prep is stacking the line of scrimmage. They've got everybody up there. If you're not covering a wide out, you in the box.
Again, our score 28-20. Vandebilt in the lead. 6 minutes left in the game. We just hit the 6-minute mark, and the clock is running. Of course, our play clock is out of commission, so Heaney not quite sure when he's using all of the clock. Calls for the ball. He's going to run it again.
Oh, almost.
Boy, he does a good job of maybe getting close to the 1st down because there was not a lot of room up there. He did a good job of just kind of squeezing his way. Yeah, what y'all think? You go for it here, huh?
Elijah Frank on the stop with the linebacker. Big linebacker, 6'2", 205.
So it's showing that they first down. First down, Terriers. Big first down. 5:27, and they're about to start the clock again. Again, an 8-point lead for the Terriers.
You know, Lake Charles Prep in a bad spot here. Too much time. Let us start calling timeouts. But you don't want to waste them, especially if they get another first down. If you wasted them here.
Well, they're 1 touchdown down. I call it 2 scores because you still got to make the 2-point conversion to stay in the game. But that being said, they've really not shown that they could stop Vandebilt in this half.
Now Vandebilt
Heaney waiting for the back judge to put his hand up for the 10-second call, and that back judge just doesn't put his hand up. I think Heaney doesn't know when to do it, but he gives it off. And listen, Thibodeau gets a big gain, and there's another penalty on the play.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to ask the white hat. How about telling that guy to give us a signal?
I agree.
Yeah.
I've never seen that where a back judge just doesn't give a signal. Well, depends on what his signal is. Maybe it's something we just don't know.
Yeah.
So the penalty on the play, if we're not mistaken, was holding. It looked like holding from the get-go.
And the back judge is almost out of the ballpark. You know, come back with us here, buddy.
Yeah, if he makes a call from back there,
he's
got eagle eyes.
Oh, look.
Yep, they're pushing it back 10 yards. It'll be 1st and 20 for the Terriers. The ball is at the 37-yard line. Good news is the clock is running. 4:21 left in the game. Heaney in the shotgun. Bryce Thibodeau to his left. And he gives it to Thibodeau. And Thibodeau is going to pick up about 5 yards.
Yeah, nice hold on that right side. Good blocking by the Terrier offensive line.
Just hit the 4-minute mark in the game, and there's going to be a timeout. So let's readjust. 4:02 left, and Lake Charles Prep calls a timeout. We'll take a 30-second timeout here with them. Again, you're listening to the Terrebonne General Community Sports Institute Game of the Week. To McFadden Stadium here on the campus of LaGrange High School. Although LaGrange not playing tonight, remember Lake Charles Prep is in a situation where they have to find a field to play each week. They do not have their own field. The school is only a few blocks from here to our backside, Bobby. It's behind the press box.
Yeah.
So this is actually the closest high school to them. But so far this year, they played at Westlake. They've played at Sam Houston. They played at McNeese State, so just sort of a vagabond school that's trying to find a place to play. Well, Shaw has done it. Shaw has won against Loyola Prep. Final score 38-7. So Shaw will be playing one of these two teams at their home place next week. Here we go. 2nd down, and a long ways to go for the Terriers after the penalty. And it's Heaney who's going to go right up the middle, and he's not going to get much. Maybe 3 on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd down, and let's call it 13 or 14.
Yeah, I tell you, this is where it's important for that back judge to let them know when there's 10 seconds left. Because this get down to an important part of the game with it. That's crucial.
I agree with that. That holding penalty was huge. And now Lake Charles Prep calls their 2nd timeout, or what we assume is their 2nd timeout because the clock does not have it marked up there. Would like to say thanks to, it was Dr. Harrison from Lake Charles Prep.
Yes.
And to you, Bobby.
Yeah.
Y'all did a lot of talking and arranged, and the hospitality has been really good as far as no problems when we got here. And I got to tell you, this is a big stadium, and there are a lot of people from Lake Charles Prep here on this home side.
Yeah, you know, if I'm Lake Charles Prep, I try to lock this place down every week. I know they got LaGrange uses it, I'm sure, naturally. But, you know, if I got to go a Thursday night on my game to play here, it'd be perfect, you know.
I would say that probably money plays a part in that.
Yeah.
You know, what you can afford or what they let you use. People think you just come out to these games, but consider LaGrange's stadium here, McFadden, has not had lines marked on it for a month now, right? Because nobody's played here. And tonight, somebody had to come out. I say tonight, earlier today, somebody had to come out here and line that entire field off.
And one good thing, I guess, not that good, there's no soccer on this field, looks like. So it hadn't been being used, the last few.
One thing I can say is this part of the state doesn't play soccer.
Yeah.
The north part of the state and way out here doesn't play soccer, not like Lafayette and New Orleans area does. Here we go. 3rd and 14, let's call it. Henny's going to give the ball off to Thibodeau, and he's only going to get a couple on the play. That's going to bring up 4th down. The ball will be spotted at the 30-yard line.
We got timeout. Timeout.
Yep, last timeout it looks like for Lake Charles Prep.
So now it becomes crucial. They hold here, the game's over.
I would imagine you go for it if you're Vandebilt, right? I mean, it's a little too far for a field goal. If you kick a field goal from here, you're talking about a 47-yard field goal, 46 yards.
I think we're out of his range, but, if you punt it here, you're going to have to try to pin him inside the 10 at least if you can do it. If you punt it in the end zone, you ain't gaining many yards.
The one thing we must say about Lake Charles Prep, they have a couple of kids that from anywhere on the field, they could take it to the house.
And that's what would worry me. We know number 1's not coming in.
I wouldn't imagine, although that would be something if he would pop up in the game right now. Nah, he's talking on the sideline to a bunch of people in street clothes. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see number 1 again. Now, whether he would have made a difference in this game or not, we're not quite sure, to be honest with you.
Well, he comes back next year, so.
I gave a shout out to all of the folks here at Lake Charles Prep for the hospitality of us being here today, and to Vandebilt Catholic, the staff over there. Coach Wallace and I have been going back and forth on getting a roster.
They're going for it.
For Lake Charles Prep. I would imagine you go for it here. You got really nothing to lose. Or, I like what Nichols does. Nichols squib kicks it with the punter every once in a while. Let's see. I think he's punting it.
Right. Yep.
And it's a little squib. You know what? That's a great kick. What a great kick. Inside the 5-yard line down to the 3-yard line.
Yeah.
That is Ethan Heaney on the punt. I mean, he goes in the stat book now as a punt, and he punts it inside the 5-yard line. Looks like he kind of took something off of it. Maybe a little sand wedge, 9-iron, where he just kind of hit it nice and easy. Yeah. Smart move.
And that's what you want. If he rolls in the end zone, you kind of defeat the purpose. So this is good. Now, Vanderbilt can't let nobody behind him,
Nobody behind him. Yeah. That's the golden rule. And if you're a safety, nobody behind you. Whoa. Lake Charles Prep just had a young man, I think, that might be on injured reserve just going out to get on the field.
I think the paint was a little thick on that 10-yard line. He fell over it.
Well, he's there, and they are lined up now, and the big quarterback is in there, Dylan Vital.
Who's on the
right? I take it back. That is Philip Hunter in there, who tries to go around right in, and Vanderbilt will take this all day long. He's going to pick up about 3 or 4 yards, but so what? The clock's running.
I tell you what, great job that time by Logan Hemel. Just came up, make a nice stop. Lake Charles Prep out of timeouts.
We're down to the 3-minute mark with the clock running. 2nd down and let's call it 8 for the Trailblazers. Now Vital is in the game. To his left is Guillory. Vital with the ball. He's looking downfield, over the middle, and good pass, good catch. And that is Philip Hunter, the guy who's kind of done a little bit of everything tonight, coming up with the catch over the middle. Split the seam.
Vanderbilt trying to keep everything in front of them.
1st and 10 for the Trailblazers. The ball is at their own 30-yard line. And I don't think that was a catch.
He missed it.
Saying it was out of bounds.
Out of bounds, yeah.
And no discussion from the coaches of Lake Charles Prep. They agree.
Only thing bad, it stops the clock with 2:31 to go in the game.
2:31, 28-20. Vanderbilt in the lead in this one. It would take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion for the Trailblazers to tie it up. But folks, they were going to go for the 2-point conversion no matter what anyway.
It could be 40 to nothing. They're going for 2.
Yes. Here we go. 2nd and 10 for Lake Charles Prep. Vital calling for the ball. He's got it. He's looking to the left side, and he overthrows everybody. Oh, almost intercepted by the young man from Vandebilt Catholic.
Oh, I tell you what, good job that time.
29.
Number 29 for the Terriers. He almost picked that thing off, and that's Jaden Calloway.
I'll tell you this. Vital looks at one receiver the entire route. He doesn't look anybody off. He just stares at who he's going to throw to. 3rd down and 10. 2:25 with the clock stopped. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Vital calls for it. He's got it, and he gives it. And they're not going to pick up the first down. Wow. Vanderbilt got a timeout. And listen, they stopped it way before the kid got the ball. But it's a good thing.
Tell you what, he had a nice hole.
I don't know if he'd have got the first down or not. You know, it's hard to say now, but Vanderbilt did get the timeout in time. 3rd down and 10. Obviously, on defense, they did not like something they saw out there. We'll keep it right here, 2:28, as we have a semi-nail biter here. Vanderbilt up by 8 points.
Yeah, Vanderbilt was still with the 4-down lineman on defense, but they spread out. They got about 2 arm lengths gap, so try to keep them inside, keep the quarterback on the inside.
People have different terminology, but Vanderbilt right now defensively is playing what I know, because it's all we called it, was cover 4, where they're dropping 4 guys back. The 2 corners and the 2 safeties are covering quarters of the field in the back, and I think they're just trying to keep everything underneath them. Credit all of the defense, though. When you consider that this team averages on offense 44.6 points per game, and tonight the defense of Vanderbilt has held them to 1 touchdown in the entire game. 1 touchdown.
Yeah, now they're rushing 3. 3-5-3.
Here we go. 3rd and 10 for the Trailblazers. Ball at the 20. Vital with it, throws it over the middle. He's got a receiver. Number 81 on a terrific catch. We hadn't called his number tonight. William Plaster, a junior wide receiver who caught it in traffic. 1st down for Lake Charles Prep.
Yeah, like I said, Vanderbilt in a 3-5-3 defense. So
here we go. 1st and 10. The clock is running. 2:14. And the ball is given off up the middle. That's Guillory. He's got a nice run. He's not going to have the first down. He'll be 2 yards short, excuse me.
Clock running, 2 minutes to go in the ball game.
And they're going to huddle up. And they really hadn't huddled up much of the game, but they huddle up here. Here we go. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. With the ball is Vital. He's going to throw it. And he throws it downfield, and this guy's behind him.
He caught it.
Touchdown. Wow, that's number 2 again. That's Caden Jones on the big catch. And I'm not sure how they got behind him out there, but they certainly got behind him.
Yeah, he just took off on a fly route, and he just hung it up there to him. Great pass. All right, here's the game here, going for 2. Tied up.
Especially with no timeouts left.
Yeah.
Because if Vanderbilt can get the ball back, I'm sure they're going to try an onside kick, but if Vanderbilt gets the ball back and they do not get this 2-point conversion, Vanderbilt runs the clock out, basically. Here we go, play of the game. And they got that guy in there, Philip Hunter, who looks like he's going to be in the Wildcat.
Yeah. Could be the same play they ran earlier that didn't get the 2.
With Philip Hunter, though, you got to make sure you tackle him, man.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, he can make some things happen. Now, he's back there by himself right now. And there's a little discombobulation on where he's at. Hunter with the ball going around right in. He dumps it off. Caught. Guillory catches it for the 2-point conversion. Then there's a penalty after the play. I'm sure they're going to call a penalty on Lake Charles Prep for excessive celebration. Not that it was too much of a celebration, to be honest with you, but
coach is telling them, get over here.
The case being said, this is kind of interesting because I'd imagine it was after the play.
So
That's my Tweedledee guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy on this side who called it.
You know what? Great call by Lake Charles Prep. You know, because I'm thinking they're going to run it in, and then pulls up and passes it.
I got to tell you, these kids are excited. There's a minute 43 left in the game. They tied it up, and I didn't see anything down there that I haven't seen all year. But that being said, that's what we have in high school football now. Now listen, is that a 15-yard penalty? Man, they got to kick that thing from way back at the 25-yard line now.
Vandebilt with 2 timeouts left. I know they
Yes.
called 1, so they got 2.
As far as we know, they
Yeah.
only called that 1 timeout.
So they can play for the field goal.
28-28, folks. A minute 43 left in our game here from Lake Charles. Again, Vandebilt had played really well in the second half offensively and defensively, but they've given up a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here late in the game. I really believe they're going to get really good field position here, though.
Yeah, because he doesn't kick the ball well to start with. And he's probably going to squib it anyway, which that's how he normally kicks it.
So back deep for the Terriers is Henri Lepere. That looks like Email back there with him, number 3, Logan Email. Kicking is Jinx. He's been the kickoff guy for them the entire game, and he's going to kick it again. And it is a squib kick. Ooh, this is a returnable kick. This is Lepere with the ball, and he's got nice yardage. He's actually in Lake Charles Prep territory down to the 48-yard line. Minute 37 now on the clock. Lake Charles Prep, no timeouts. Not that they need any timeouts. Vandebilt Catholic's kicker right now is probably finding that net.
Oh, yeah.
.137 left in the game. Vandebilt Catholic with the ball. Score is tied. They have it in Lake Charles Prep territory at the 48. I'm not sure what this guy's doing with the football, but he's marking off a penalty. 15 yards.
Yeah, I saw with Lake Charles Prep coach grabbing one of his kids over here. Was kind of giving him the business.
Wow.
He must be on.
There are things we're not seeing, or I'm not seeing.
I don't even see a flag came out on that.
That's all the way down to the 33-yard line. I mean, that's basically... Oh, that's what it is. Sean is telling us that it's the second sideline warning on Lake Charles Prep. Great field position for Vandebilt Catholic. First down, they give it to Terrio. He's going to get a couple of yards, maybe 3 on first down. It'll bring up 2nd and 7 for the Terriers.
Stopped by Elijah Williams on the play.
Clock is running, 124, 123, 122. Vandebilt has 2 timeouts left, trying to save it just a little bit as Heaney is trying to get his signals. Second and 7 for the Terriers. We are now at the 1-minute mark. Heaney calls for the ball. He's got it. He's going to run it, and he is tackled. He's actually going to lose a yard.
Vandebilt calls timeout right away.
Calls timeout. 54 seconds left. We're going to keep it right here to close out this one, folks. We got us a nail biter going on. A true nail biter now.
Oh, yeah.
28-28. 54 seconds left in the game. Vandebilt Catholic with the opportunity. I would imagine you still have to pick up another 15 to 20 yards to have a legitimate shot at a field goal.
That was a face mask call on the sideline over there.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
A face mask. Well, that makes sense. 15-yard face mask, it certainly puts it down there. Again, folks, the winner of this one takes on Shaw next week. Shaw handily defeated Loyola Prep 38-7. And I see, Sean, you have a final on E.D. White. E.D. White went down 31-0 against St. Charles Catholic. I'm not sure if we have a final on the University of Madison Prep, but I'm sure that one will be close to being finished too. for the right to host Shaw next week. It all comes down to these final 54 seconds. Heaney in the shotgun. He's calling for the ball. He's got a man in motion. And he's dropping back, and we have whistles everywhere. And there we
Vandebilt.
go. Vandebilt, illegal motion. Oh, that's a tough one. Final, University Lab went out in front of Madison Prep, so you basically have the bracket set up except for this game. University Lab is going to be taking on St. Charles Catholic at St. Charles Catholic next week. That's number 1 against number 4. And then you have Shaw waiting the winner of this one, but Shaw has to travel to whoever wins this one. 3rd down and 14 for Vandebilt. Heaney with the ball, drops back to pass. It looks like it's a little screen, and it is. And they're going to get a first down and a lot more, but there's a penalty on the play, and they're going to call holding on the play.
Oh, what a tough break.
They're going to call holding against Vandebilt. You could tell the way it was thrown. God, dog.
What a tough break. Great call on a screen pass.
What a terrific call. That's 10 more yards back from that spot, too. Yeah, they threw the flag immediately. Again, it was one of the twins. Holding. Woo, tough play. Tough play. So let's see, they're going to mark it from the flag. Still going to be a long 3rd down conversion here. Over 10, let's call it 22 yards.
Yeah, looks like it, yeah.
3rd and 22 for Vandebilt. We have a young man injured for, I keep wanting to say Loyola Prep. You know what? We don't have to say Loyola Prep anymore. No. They're at home. They won't be going any further. For Lake Charles Prep, you said that's number 2 out there? Caden Jones, who is a terrific receiver. Tell you what, they can't afford to have that young man go down. They don't have a whole lot of people going out there to care for him.
Yeah, he's up. I mean, sitting up. Yeah, he's okay. He's getting up.
Yep, under his own power.
Yeah, kind of hobbling off.
Oh, that's how Aiden Carter came off the field.
Yeah.
We've got a really exciting game. For you folks who tuned in late, again, in the first 4 minutes of this game, our score was 14-14. Lake Charles Prep scored on a pick 6 on the very first offensive play of Vandebilt. Then the next time they got a kickoff after a Vandebilt touchdown, they returned it for a touchdown. Vandebilt Catholic got 2 long passes, one which was a touchdown, one which set up their second touchdown. And then from there, it's kind of been grinded out football. Boy, I don't know what you call in the playbook right here. 3rd down and 22 for Vandebilt Catholic. You don't want to throw an interception for sure. The clock is running. It is down to 38, 37. Heaney goes right up the middle. He's going to get fairly decent yardage, but he's a long way from a first down. And I can't, oh, and here, is that another penalty?
Got his hand up.
Got his hand up for some, oh, maybe it's just
down.
to spot the ball. Fourth down.
4th down.
So what does Vandebilt do right here? 4th down and a country mile. Clock is running. It's down to 13-12. They're playing for overtime now.
Yeah,
they may very well just let it run out.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do.
And that's what it's going to be. 5, 4, 3, 2, and it is a tie ball game after regulation. Our score 28-28 from here in Lake Charles. Vandebilt Catholic against Lake Charles Prep. 4A, I say 4A, Division II Select Football Quarterfinals, as they're going to explain to both teams exactly what happens from here. They are saying that Vandebilt called a timeout with 2 seconds left. It actually had gone down to 0, but they just put it back on. That's your friends right next to you, Sean, right there with the clock. What do you do right here? Just throw it down?
All you can do is throw it down, hope for pass interference, and then get a
Yeah,
well, that still don't help you. You know,
Well,
it's still too far.
you're asking a high school kid to throw this ball over 50 yards
Yeah.
into the end zone. But I got to tell you, if you guys got the opportunity to see E.D. White against Vandebilt, they got a young man that could do it, and he's in the game right now. And that's number 5, Cullen Verdun, a sophomore, who is the quarterback of the future. And against E.D. White with about 25 seconds left in the game, he did just this, and he dropped a dime back there in the end zone.
And Heaney's out wide.
So here we go, 2 seconds left. Verdun with the ball, rolls out to his right, and he just dumps it off. He knew he couldn't get his feet set to throw one down in the end zone. And that is going to be the end of regulation. Again, our score 28-28, Vandebilt against Lake Charles Prep. We do need to take a timeout before we get into the overtime. What a terrific game we have here. Hope you stick around. We'll give you the overtime action after this message. Again, it's the Terrebonne General Community Sports Institute Game of the Week. Madden Stadium on the campus of LaGrange High School. Again, we are bringing you quarterfinal action in the Division II Select Bracket. Vandebilt Catholic against Lake Charles Prep, and we get some extra time. We actually in extra innings here, folks. 28-28. They are at midfield having the coin toss. It looked like Lake Charles Prep
They won it, huh?
won it, and they deferring to get the ball second. They're going to go on defense first. And I would imagine they're going to put Vandebilt right in that band.
Oh, yeah.
Because that band is loud, man. They are really loud. But they're fun. They're that kind of band when you go to high school games you love hearing. But I'd imagine they're going to be right in Vandebilt's ear.
Well, we saw that last week when Carver was here. Carver's band was right where they are tonight. And when Vandebilt was on that side of the field, it wasn't a song they were playing. It was just blasting horns the whole time Vandebilt had the ball. So I'm sure we're going to see the same thing. You know, the good thing here, you know, Vandebilt has the kicker. Lake Charles Prep doesn't.
I agree 100%.
You
That's
know.
what a lot of our friends on social media are saying. Well, Vandebilt can kick it. That team's got to go for it.
Yeah,
But makes a big difference.
But you got to score here. You know, you can't let them have the ball without us scoring. So you want to get 6 on the board.
Not only that, you're right. You score a field goal and get 3 points.
Yeah.
They know they have 4 downs,
Yeah.
right?
And you know, and it was bad. You know, Vanderbilt's gonna have a tough call here because they know if Vanderbilt scores a touchdown and kick the extra point, they're going for 2. So
Here's what I've seen in a lot of high school football games, not necessarily on the collegiate level and not really on the professional level, although their overtime rules are a lot different. I've seen in high school a lot of turnovers when they get that ball, just because the kids are so, I'm not quite sure what the word would be. They're a little jittery, a little, you know, here's where you get a little nervous. So they're going to go down to the, let's see, if we're in South Lake Charles, that's the south end zone, right?
We're going toward, well,
we're going in the Gulf.
Yeah.
So if Ethan Henney could get in the end zone, you just keep on running and go to the Gulf. Here we go. Overtime, folks. 28-28, tie game. Ethan Heaney is set up at the 15-yard line. He's got back there. Thibodeau with him. Oh, there's a fumble. What are they calling a penalty?
Might be a face mask.
No, there was no face mask.
I saw his head come back. I just thought.
Oh, I don't know. One of the Bobsey twins got it down here, though.
I saw his head come back. That's why I thought.
It could be. There's a big call. We'll let the drama play out.
Yes, sir. Yep.
I don't.
He's moving.
I think Vandebilt might have got away with one there. He did call, yeah, face mask.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I say that, there is no argument from the coaches down there from Lake Charles Prep.
No.
So maybe at our angle, we just didn't see it like, but he did snap back, obviously.
I had my binoculars on him. I saw his head come back.
Oh, well, wait a minute. You cheating.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. 1st and 5 for Vandebilt now. Heaney now standing at his 10-yard line, and he's going to follow the. Man.
Good dive.
He's going to follow, and I don't know who that guy is.
Oh, that was number 10, Elijah Frank, the linebacker.
Man, he came up and made a play.
Yeah, they got everybody in the box, you know.
Yeah, that's going to bring up a 2nd and 5. No gain on the play.
Vandebilt with a mass substitution here.
Mass substitution. Number 3, number 23. Heaney in there. Again, Peyton Carter out on the field now.
McCombs at fullback.
Here we go, under center in this one. And they give it off to the tailback, number 3.
Oh, you met
that's email, and he's not going to get much of anything on that. You're right, Bobby. They're going to have to, like, dump one off here. 3rd down and 5.
5 more guys come in.
The guys who were in.
Get back in there. That didn't work.
So Heaney in there along with LePere, along with number 18, William Ordon split out wide down here, along with number 4, Reese Gode, who's in the game. He had a touchdown reception last week. 3 receivers to the left. 3rd down and 5. Overtime. Heaney looks to the sideline, and he has a timeout called. Brian Wallace wants to talk about it. And I see Easton Melanson getting there, talking to everybody. Probably a smart timeout.
You know, thinking about this, you know, do you kick a field goal here? You know.
You mean on this down?
No, I'm talking about on this. If you don't come to the 4th down, do you kick it?
Because if you Natchitoches Central against Terrebonne, you do. And they did. And I was like, why are they kicking a field goal on 3rd down? But they did. And then they lost it on the next play in overtime on a touchdown. No, I agree. After this, you know, if you don't get the touchdown, you have a decision to make for sure.
Because they can't kick it, but they're going to only run it. You know, I don't know. It's a tough call.
Tough call. I agree. But I will tell you, I'm sure Coach Wallace realizes there is no field goal in their repertoire. No. So, you know. Here we go. 3rd down and 5, overtime. Vandebilt with the ball. Lake Charles Prep has not had the opportunity to have the ball yet. Oh, Vandebilt moved. The wide receiver for Vandebilt jumped. I'm not sure who that is on the wide side, but he flinched, and the official called it immediately. So it's back to 10 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 10. I'm not sure how. gives you a little more room to operate.
There's all these fans on the other side over there, on the field almost down there.
On the other side.
Yeah.
That's Vanderbilt's fans.
No. That's
Here we go. 3rd down and 10. Overtime. Heaney with the ball. He's going to throw it. Oh, wide open, and there's a penalty on the play.
Oh.
Illegal motion. Somebody moved. Boy, that would have worked.
Yep. No.
That was wide open. What a terrific call.
Oh.
But evidently somebody moved before the snap, and that one I did not see.
Oh, I tell you what. And I thought first he didn't reach him because, boy, it was a little short. And he ends up picking up the ball, walking in the end zone for nothing.
Well, that's interesting. 3 penalty flags in only 2 plays run so far in the extra period. 28-28, folks. We are in overtime. Lake Charles Prep has yet to have the ball in overtime. Vanderbilt is now playing 3rd and 15. Goal to go. Ethan Heaney at the quarterback. Heaney with the ball. Looking for a receiver. He can't find one. He's going to run it, and he's going to get tackled at about the 5-yard line.
All right, decision time here.
Bobby, you the man. What do you do?
I take the field goal.
Bobby, I agree with you.
You know, you put the points on the board.
I agree with you. I think the defense has been playing well enough to do something here, and it looks like with this mass substitution, it is going to be a field goal. Because quite honestly, if you don't make the field goal, you're still in the same situation.
Right.
They still ain't going to kick a field goal.
Right. So you just don't be ahead of them.
You just soon be ahead of them. I like that. Yeah, it's a great philosophy. Here we go. On to kick it. Number 85 for the Terriers. That's Luke Sidden, and the senior is
good.
Good. Vanderbilt takes the lead in this one, 31-28. And I would say that it could end up in a tie again, but it won't.
It won't,
because they are either going to score a touchdown or they won't. And Vanderbilt's defense has been pretty stout. What a game we have here. Overtime with Lake Charles Prep with the ball.
You know, the only thing surprised me on Lake Charles Prep on that 2-point conversion last time is on the pass. You know, that was that was a great call because I never thought they were going to throw it. I thought they would just take the snap and run straight into the end zone. Or toward the end zone.
Well, again, for folks who might not realize the rules, they get it at the 10-yard line. They have 4 downs. They score a touchdown, game over. It's as simple as that. Let's see which quarterback we have in there. And it looks like Dylan Vital, the passer, is actually in there. Of course, he's got 2 running backs with him back there, too. Guillory to one side. And to the other side, I'm not quite sure at this point. Vital with the ball. He gives it off on a handoff. And that is Hunter running around left end. And a good job by number 8. Number 8 is spent, but I got to tell you, that young man has played a terrific game for the Terriers today. Jaden Coleman, senior defensive back, but he plays more like an outside linebacker. Good job to come up and make that tackle. 2nd and 8 for the Trailblazers. 8 yards to a touchdown or 8 yards to nothing. 28-28. We are in overtime. Excuse me, 31-28.
Yeah.
We are in overtime. They didn't change the clock. On the run on that one is Hunter. Did we have another flag? No, I don't think so. He gets it down right inside the 5, probably to the 4. That'll bring up a 3rd down and goal to go from the 4. Again, 31-28. Vanderbilt has the lead in overtime, but a touchdown will do it for Lake Charles Prep. And now they're going exclusively with Philip Hunter at the quarterback position. And Vanderbilt Catholic calls a timeout. Actually, a young man is hurt on the field for Vanderbilt Catholic. As I see the athletic trainers out there, again, kudos to Bo Wallace and Destiny Atkins, athletic trainers for Vanderbilt Catholic via Terrebonne General. Can y'all get a number on the young man?
As soon as Bo moves out my way, I'll be
Get out of the way, Bo.
0. Yeah.
0.
Yeah.
He's had a terrific
Yeah.
game in this one, too.
Townsend,
has had a really good game in this one. Listen, it all happens here, folks. 3rd down, 4 yards to go for Lake Charles Prep. They score, game over.
Yeah, here's the fan that was on the other side screaming when we were on there. Now he's on the Lake Charles Prep side. The guy in the white, he was down there on the goal line hollering early.
That's his job, Bobby.
Yeah,
they gave him that job for the game. Really been a terrific game. Can y'all figure out why they didn't change the score on the scoreboard, though? Huh? Oh, they don't care.
Oh, man, they're getting paid for this. They should be here.
Yeah. Here we go. 3rd down, 4 to go. And it's Hunter with the ball again. He's trying to bust through. He's going to be short. I don't think he got anything.
No,
maybe to the 3-yard line. Now, why you run a guy like that into the short side of the field, I'm not sure.
I'll tell you what, Jaden Coleman on the stop. Good job.
Here we go. This is it.
Be careful of that pass.
Play of the game, folks. 28-31. Vandebilt leading by 3. 4th down. And I would say the ball is at the 3-yard line. And Lake Charles Prep going to call a timeout. Everybody standing on this side. Everybody standing on the other side.
Yeah, right outside the 3. Yeah. Just a hair outside the 3. About a ball length.
Last time they were down there, Philip Hunter did a terrific job of sort of faking the run.
Yeah.
And then dumped it off to Guillory in the end zone, who was pretty wide open on the play. Well, this is what you call the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat right here, right? Nonetheless, it's been a great game by both teams. Everybody standing up, everybody sort of on pins and needles in this one. Again, the winner of this game takes on Shaw next week. Not only that, the winner of this game gets to host Shaw. Shaw does have to come to their place. Shaw just totally demolished Loyola Prep today. So here we go. Lake Charles Prep ready to go.
Uh-oh, look out.
Oh, my goodness.
Razzle dazzle.
Razzle dazzle. I tell you what, somebody better get to the right side quick.
Yep, there he goes. No, he missed it. Incomplete.
Terriers win.
Oh, ho.
Terriers win. Hunter Phillip, excuse me.
Oh, wait a minute.
Didn't have a trail man on the play.
The referee's talking about something happened.
No, he can't. He can't backtrack on this now.
No.
He can't backtrack on this.
He threw a flag.
Oh, he's got a flag.
I think it was on. Got to be on Lake Charles Prep.
Yeah, those officials are ready to leave down here in the corner. Listen, Philip Hunter, who actually started to have a seam, Vandebilt did a terrific job, but he didn't have a trail back. So he tried to like dump it forward.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's it. It's done. What a great win for Vandebilt Catholic. After all of that, they could have called. They didn't have to stay out there for that. I mean, that was what a great job by the defense of Vandebilt Catholic, holding out the young man from Lake Charles Prep to secure the win. Vandebilt wins this one in overtime, 31-28. And basically, our understanding up here in the press box is that it was an illegal formation by Lake Charles Prep at the end of the game. And if that is the situation for Lake Charles Prep, quite honestly, they are in a they're in a situation where I'm not sure what's going on, Bobby.
He's pulling it.
Oh, they're pulling it from that end.